Hello. Hey everybody. What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to our recap and rants. Y'all know every week what the deal is. We do a recap and then we rant about everything that we loved or didn't like as it is with the episode. Today I have, of course, Mel NYC reviews. He is co-chair, co-captain, sometimes team captain, depending on whose side you're on.
Uh-huh.
Welcome to the show. How's everyone doing? What's up, Lily? Hey, Nerva. What's going on? Hey, Amika. What's going on, y'all? All right, y'all. First of all, the one thing I can say for the takeaway from the episode is the fact that Dre, Ascala's husband, was over the whole trip. You could tell in his mind, he was like, Escala owes me double, no triple, no quadruple. Whatever she promised him to come on that trip, I think she had to raise her. He literally added tax on it. Dre was so over everyone and everything. He's got a lot of love for Escala, but he was over everyone and everything. And Dre had me cracking up the whole episode. The whole episode. Now, Mel, really quick, let's do an overview. What did you think of the episode?
Well, it was good, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you your flowers because you know what I took away. You were right, and we're not going to get to that part of the episode yet. But a couple of weeks ago, we had a big full panel, and you were saying you had a heated debate. You know, it was a really good exchange, and you was like, okay, if this was me, and you were really breaking down. You said if this was me, and somebody talked about one of my projects. And it's not my child, but they really went on me. I would read them and do this kind of thing. Candace said it in this episode. So we're going to get there. But she said in the episode, listen, and she got emotional. People have issues with that. But you were right. You were right. You were right. You were right about that. Candace admitted it tonight. So I was happy about that.
Funny thing is, listen, and I know a bunch of people are
Maybe
like,
I was going to say, maybe it was your sake. Maybe it was your vibes. Now, I'm not even joking.
no,
Come
listen,
on
I'm
now.
telling
You,
you,
you were spot on.
listen, I'm telling you a lot. Okay, I did a little tarot reading on Candace. I should have taped it and put it up, right?
Oh, you
That's what put
were.
me down to that. But I am just saying, right? Just pulled a few cards out, but I am saying it didn't take a rocket scientist to see. You saw it too, Mel, though. You saw it too that Candace, for whatever reason, was super nervous, super this, super that, worried about failing, worried about people clowning her. We saw the way we all, and by all, I mean me, drag Monique up and down the block for drag queens, right? And binder times. So she knew people were waiting for her to fail. It was a new adventure. She was investing a lot of her own personal money into it. It was self produced, all her videos, her whole album. It was a lot for her. And
Yeah.
when Mia called her low budget, everybody else was like, oh my God, please, she doesn't get to say that. And I'm like, I'm telling y'all, I saw it in her. That cut her to the core because Mia didn't realize it. But she hit all of Candace's insecurities all at one time.
Yeah.
And Candace,
Wow.
and the funny thing is, once Mia apologized, and even now, I don't know whatever, I'm sure there's still people that hate Candace saying, oh, so what if she cried, blah, 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 blah. My whole thing is, no, whether I like somebody or not, and I know everybody swears I don't like Mia. I like Mia just fine, but there's certain things she's doing. I was like, Mia, stop, you're reaching, right?
Uh-huh.
But I will say, hold on a second. Can you turn the TV on mute? God. So anyway, so anyway, um, so she did all that, and sorry, it's like in the background. I'm like listening. Salt Lake City, we're gonna do a review on it because it looks good. You guys come back tomorrow at I don't know, maybe 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're doing a review for Salt Lake City because that episode was good. But anyway, back to Candace and the rant, right? Candace was literally she was in a place where she had everything riding on the line. And especially the way she had gotten dragged the year before, she had a lot of haters. Now, to the point, as soon as Mia apologized, right? And this is a mark of Candace's character. Candace apologized too. And she
Yeah.
literally said, I had no idea. To which everybody, Miriam, if you're in Spain watching this, told you, everybody, even Mia, accepted as true that Candace didn't know about Mia's mom. And she
Right.
said, I
Yeah.
had no idea. I was just saying shit. Girl, I'm sorry. And she acknowledged Mia's pain. Now, and Mia even said, okay, I'm sorry. Now I know your boundaries. And as much as you guys can say about, not you, but as much as people can say Candace was being fake or Candace was doing this or Candace was doing that, Mia accepted her apology and thought her tears were genuine. So no matter what we think of Candace personally, collectively, the person she apologized to thought she was being sincere.
But
So
and
there's
I,
that.
and I'll add to that. We have seen on Bravo this season where people can apologize and to be one sided. Candace could have did that too. So we saw that on Saw It Late where Jen is doing an apology, especially with Brooks and her mother. And we have not heard them, I think, up to this point, them apologize for them describing her private. So
Mhm.
Candace had that opportunity when Mia, as you see in this season, Mia is not a person who's like, well, you owe me an apology. Candace said, okay, now it's your turn. She said in that scene, now it's your turn. I know now about your mother. I want to really come up here and I want to hear about this. I want to know about this. I'm so sorry about this. So Candace took the she did it right. She did it right. She didn't have to, but she did.
Yeah.
She turned around and said, "This is your turn," and I want to apologize for as woman to woman. I want to apologize about your mom, and I
Yeah.
didn't know about this, and I was knee jerk, and she did all of it, and it's not because she was psychic and she saw what's going to happen 12 months later. It's just
Yes.
simply that she was, I think that what, I'm going to be honest with you. She had a good night with her husband. They were drinking. Come on. Well, I mean, we can't say the D word. She had a good night with her husband. She woke up feeling good, honey. Didn't she
She
wake
was
up feeling good?
like, woke
She
up this morning.
she woke up feeling good, and she said, "I ain't got no problems. I ain't got no hurts. Mia, who? I'm gonna, And then Chris was doing his thing, and not a couple of things, honey. But then he was talking to her and said, "Listen, you know what? This is what this is that." And she woke up as a different person, and she said, "Listen, this is what it is." So yeah, so she definitely was a new person, and it was all good. It was a beautiful scene, and it wasn't contrived as it sometimes can be with Robin and Ashley and Rob, and Gizelle and all the
It
other.
was a nice scene. Even Mia, the way she was the bigger person and
Mm-hmm.
extended the apology first. Again, G already grew on me. I like Mia's husband. He grew on me. I like him. I like him. He has his own shit. He's a different person when he drinks, but I like him. But to your point, Mia also, she surprised me. Now she's still calling Candace low budget, right? She's still calling Candace low budget, but that was a beautiful scene. But go on, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go on.
No.
Because
I
you
was
were
gonna
like, I
say,
was like, turn it up. I love this song. Like,
yeah,
oh God.
it was good, and I was gonna say, so then in contrast, we see that Wendy and Robin and Giselle has had these issues the whole season, but we see Candace and Mia had this scene right there. And now you cut to the cameras, and what do we see? Robin and Giselle looking sour like sourpusses right there, mad at the world. The only reason that they were mad, Tisa, let me say this, because Wendy didn't take, she wasn't triggered by them. She didn't take the bait. So the bait was when they get to the house, they're supposed to sit there and treat them like queens. She's supposed to wash her foot. She's supposed to make her feel good. She's supposed to do everything. And basically, she showed her dust. She said, "Okay, you don't like this. It was first come, first serve. You know what
Mhm.
the door is. You can
Yes,
either sit here. This is, you listen. You like me. We're probably raised in the same family. With your mom and like, well, you don't want to be here. You know what the door is right there. She showed her the door, and she went to bed with her
exactly.
husband, and that was it. So now, mind you, the two girls who always clowning people about their husbands, they went out the door with nobody but themselves, and they were sad and sour. They came back mad and sour still. They could, yeah. So it was a perfect scene. The camera went to them. I was laughing.
It was a perfect scene. Now, I do want to just interrupt for 1 second. Nerva Rock, the live for my members only live. You guys, if you have not signed up for a membership on my channel, it's only $4.99. That is the price of 3 cake pops at Starbucks. Don't ask me how I know, but I know, right? You don't need the cake pops. Caffeine's bad for you. It's $4.99 a month. We have members only live. We're going to get Mel up in there next time, hopefully. We have agendas. We go through gossip. You guys can even request specific gossip. We know people that are flight attendants on United Arab Emirates. We know people that work at all the best hotels, all the best restaurants, all the best bartenders, and people that work on the sets of some of your favorite shows. So if you have gossip that you want us to snoop about and bring some exclusive tea back, just say the word and we'll send our little Twitter birds out into the street. But to your whole thing, Nerva Rock, there is the newest one is up. It happened on 10/15. Go to the membership section. Thank you, Gloria. sometimes it's hard to find. Go to our channel to the members part. If not, just turn on notifications for the uploads, and then you can get your notifications. Of course, because with notifications, they give you a link. Nerva, if you still can't find it, just DM me on Instagram, and I'll just literally DM you a link directly to do it. But it's members only, it's exclusive, and we got into so much dirt this Friday. I can't say it because it's only for members, but you can always hear the recordings. There's 2 episodes up. The 3rd one's coming in the next week. You can call in, you can chat. It's a nice, cozy, exclusive, positive group, right? It's nice. It's super, super nice. Anyway, let's get back to the service. Oh, also, who wanted to know? Banana Full wants to know, that people clown drag queens? Yes, people clown drag queens. But guess what? It's me. I'm people. I dragged drag queens. I don't know if anybody else did it, but I dragged a drag queen. So, and Lily, thank you so much for noticing. I did dye my hair darker. Okay, right? Let's get to it. Now, let's see. Ooh, look at this tea. Southern Lady said, so this episode is the reason Mia deleted some of her IG posts about Candace. Exactly. Now, you know what's so funny about this?
Oh, wow. I didn't notice that.
I didn't either, but thank you, Southern Lady. We're going to be on it. You know
Come
what's
through,
so
Miss
funny?
Southern Lady.
Yes, and you know what's so funny about this? The fact that and I get it, it's production saying, ooh, keep the drama going. And now even the way Mia backed down so quickly and Candace backed down so quickly. Now we know from what Mia's been through in her life, that's one of her strongest suits. She's very regenerative, right? She sleeps it off. And it's a survival instinct of people that's been through trauma, right? You learn, if you hold on to that hurt from one day to the next, you'll be dead by Saturday. You have to move on. So this is one of Mia's greatest strengths. And she actually showed that on the episode again. I know y'all think I'm hard on Mia. I'm hard. Okay, I always defend the underdog, and Candace was the underdog. But I love the way Candace stepped up. And Mia stepped up, first of all, by offering an olive branch. And Candace, to your point, Mel, was a grown-ass woman and not only took that olive branch, but extended one of her own. And the way she articulated herself on some grown woman stuff. Now, I will say, when Chris was fussing and he was like, God damn it, why can't we just have one night? And the thing is, people talk about Chris, and Chris was drunk. People talk about Chris and Candace's marriages. Their marriage to me seems super, super solid. Because even the way Chris was like, but why? Why you have to do that? Blah, 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 blah. And she was like, okay, it was my one day. Candace literally acted like she had her cheat day. Like she's like, I'm being good. Don't eat anybody up. And then her cheat day, she's like, I'm eating you. And the next morning, she was like, okay, I'm back. I'm back to being grown ass Candace. Even Karen had to nod her head. For all y'all saying that Candace is a little girl, she acted like a grown-ass woman, because to Mel's point, she could have always done what they do in Housewives. Somebody apologizes, and they're just like, yeah, and you should be sorry. And then the argument escalates from there. So let's give props for both of them for being grown-ass women. Did you notice one thing? Mia's husband is very tickled by Candace. They vibe and they get each other.
That's right.
She was laughing more when she said, you better shut up because you're benefactor. G was cracking.
So yeah, okay. So again, I'll use you. So we can. So okay, we call it being extra. So Candace can be extra. So some people call that being, they call it the bottom of the barrel, all these other things. Extra to me tickles me. So I think that like you said, your family's wild. My family was pretty animated. So when people are extra and loud and crazy and crying in the next second, that's like, okay, girl, go sit down. You need to go to bed. I'm not worried about you. I'm not bothered by you. I think that's what G is too. He's like, okay, I know this behavior. Now I want to also say, whenever Mia was describing the situation to G, he never made a very crazy comment. So it's interesting to me that maybe we don't see. He seemed to be focused on Ashley, because his wife was going full blown with Candace, and every time she described, he said, "Oh, that girl's nasty." Not like Michael does. Yeah. Michael take the cheap shots. G just was like, he just listens and then said, "Let's call the boys. Let's call our kids." It was no reaction. He listened to her. He was present with her, but he didn't make a nasty comment. And in contrast, also, Candace's husband also does the same thing. He doesn't make a nasty comment about women. So when he was saying, "Oh yeah, well, I'm sorry, I got lost my train of thought. When Candace's husband said, "Oh yeah, Michael always makes comments about women, and he always inserts himself in women's business." We see all the other husbands do not do it, whether it be Wendy's husbands or Scholar husband. Nobody inserts himself, and G just sits there and listens. So it's interesting that he gets triggered somehow by the Ashley. That's very something. I don't know.
What? Thank you so much, Jackie. Appreciate it. And thank you, Richie, as well. Listen, who said drag queen was fire?
Wait,
Jackie, you better shut up.
Let me read this too, because I wish I could do this. So Miss Judgy Justice, who I love, Miss Judgy Justice, she said, I like your talking points, but your voice reminds me of my ex. I hope it's a good ex, honey, because I love you, Miss Judgy Justice. I love your commentary.
Ooh, is this Mel's ex? You want me to drop the call-in link? ACE,
Well,
if you're in the chat, we dropped the link for you. Come
well,
on.
I was gonna say, Miss Tisa, Judgy Justice can only be my ex if she happened to, be a. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there. Okay. listen, I'm a part of the LGBT community. I love Miss Judgy Justice. She is so beautiful. Love her.
But listen, how about this, right? Here's the funny thing. Now here's what I think about what's going on with G and Candace, right? A lot of people that might be from a different culture, and by culture, it doesn't matter whether you're black, brown, white, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. No. But I understand Candace, and when I say that I don't think that Candace's reads are, don't get me wrong, she has gone like deadly. But a lot like when she was with me and she was like, you better sit there before your benefactor. Yeah, some people would have got insulted. I saw that, yeah, she was trying to drag, but there was still, she wasn't going for the jugular. It was benign. It was basically her saying, sit there and eat your food. That's why G was cracking up. G and Candace were obviously raised in the same culture where he understands when Candace is going for the jugular. He understands when Candace is just mad. And he understands when Candace is, being a little mean, but still just being jokey. Do you know what I'm saying? Because again, you saw how upset he got with Ashley. And to your point, Mel, he was not upset like that when Candace was even going in on Mia or when her and Mia were arguing. Like you said, he sat there. He was like, all right, babe, let's call it. And he was trying to calm her down. But there was something about Ashley, I think I know what that is. She's annoying. That just got under his skin. Now, funny thing about
So I'm going to ask you this. So because you talk all the time, and you're very, very smart and enlightened woman, and I love all women. So let me ask you this to play devil advocate a little bit. When G, as I was talking to somebody recently about, my mother was from down south, so I was raised not to talk to a woman in any kind of way, really, that was disparaging in any way and nothing aggressive. But I want to ask you, because I love your perspective. Do you think, and even though Ashley is problematic, and I see Mr. Ace, the fabulous Mr. Ace. Do we think that Ashley, it just played devil advocate? Do we think that she was harassed in some way? How some people. Well, just by his attention. I'm not saying it was, but do you think she could have perceived it? It's devil advocate. We don't like her, but I'm just trying to.
Okay, here's the thing. This is why I'm keeping my mouth shut until next week about Ashley and G, because y'all know me. It's always the man's fault. And if it's not a man, I'm like, well, they're male identified, right? It's always the man's fault in my mind. So I'm withholding my judgment because as much as I can't stand Ashley, I want to see what happened between her and G, because I don't want to just be like, yeah, G, get her. Because I don't like Ashley when I actually want to see what he said to her. Because there might have been a reason he was flipping out. I don't know G like that. And just like Michael gets out of pocket, G can get out of. You see what I'm saying? So I'm withholding judgment.
So I was going to say this. So okay, good. Because I was going to say when he woke her up, if that was what we saw on the show, where she said, listen, she did the thing where she said, I'm a mom, and I feel that, I respect that, I hear that, and I'm tired, and I've been milking all day, I've been doing these things all day, I'm tired. I respect all those notes. But I was just trying to figure out if she was being Ashley or if she really was being a tired mother who was being.
With Ashley, you can never tell.
Never know. Yeah.
You never know. And here's the thing. Y'all swear I be jumping on people. I don't really care what y'all think. But my whole point is I will withhold judgment, because whenever I see somebody act, I know Ashley's messy and this and that, but I've never seen her get like that with a husband. So I'm going to withhold my judgment to see like who set Ashley off. Was Ashley actually just tripping, right? Or like you said, was G, could have been G out of line. I don't know. What do y'all think in the comments? ACE, what do you think was actually going on?
Could it be that like maybe G just reminds her of Michael, and maybe there's like some misdirected
Listen, let me tell you
energy.
something. There is nothing I see that G has in common with Michael besides the fact that they drink a little bit too much, right?
Right.
If that's the case, Chris has something in common with Michael because Chris was lit on that vacation too. I just don't see any like where do you guys see the similarities, ACE and Mel, between between G and Michael?
Well, I'm wondering if Ashley does, because she kind of had brought it up in the confessional in today's episode. I mean, it's been said in confessionals. I think Candace mentioned it previously. But I'm wondering if like that's where Ashley is kind of more ticked off by it. Maybe there's just some sort of, I don't know, comparison to Michael in her mind. I'm not sure, but I
Well,
guess
you know what?
Maybe,
you know.
hold on, you guys. Sorry,
Yeah.
not to interrupt. You guys, for everybody that's looking for the link to the members only gossip live we had last night, I just dropped it in the chat. I'll drop it again. That is members only. You guys can click on it. If you are a member, $4.99 for a member. What are y'all waiting for? You can cancel at any time. It's the best $5 you ever spent. Unless the $5, I don't know, was on a lottery ticket. But besides that, it's the best $5, you know? But go on. Sorry about that. And then we're going to bring Judgy Justice on in a few minutes to hear a few things that she's saying, and then we'll get back to the review. But go on, Mel. I'm sorry. Mel?
Yeah, I'm sorry. No. I was just thinking. I think that I think that like Mr. A was saying, there could be some similarities. The only thing I could think of is that they don't really have boundaries. Which in one way we have the dark version, which is Michael. The other way we have sort of the goofy version, which is Mr. G. And also they older and they have younger wives. That's the only thing I could think of. Maybe the connection for Ashley to be triggered. I just think that what I think. I just think that Ashley was in a good mood. She was not in a good mood because she was tired and she was cranky, and maybe she was upset that she couldn't trigger Candace even more. Whatever, I don't know. And so it just seems like she's always upset with somebody. She's always getting people in the way. And I also think that when she fights based on sometime race and sometime motherhood, and these are really like really crazy points. And then when she uses those things, she creams everybody in the argument. So right now she's going to play. I mean, and again, that's why I'm talking to you because I love your perspective. But I respect you. You say you're going to hold your observations in your review until next week when we see the conclusion. But I think that
ready to grind her up. But I'm gonna wait.
Yes. Well, because I think that when she put in the confessional, it was deliberate. I will say this: I think it was deliberate that she said, "I'm a mother who's milking and I'm tired, and here's this man." So the perspective is that we have a creeper who's a stranger going after a mom who's basically away from her kids. So that's not a good thing. And I like the fact that in the preview, me and Ace were talking about it. Mia was no joke. She came real quick. She's like, "Well, where's your husband?" He said with the kids. And Mia said, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Okay, girl."
That's right, Mia. You better step for your man.
Mia was hot. She was on point.
No, here's the thing. Nerva brings up a good point. There's a few points that are in the comments. Let's run them by you. She said, "Did you guys see the camera kept zooming to Chris Bassett's drink during the dialogue with Candace?" I saw that too, and I was like, "Why are the producers trying to play like Chris has a drinking problem?" He was lit off a boring vacation. They were all Ubering in a bus. Let that man have his goddamn drink,
Not Uber the bus.
They're really pushing that. They're really trying to build that narrative.
They are. They are. Now, here's the thing. Lily says that G talks nasty to, and then we're going to bring you on in 1 second, Judge Justice. G talks nasty to women and licks his tongue out to them gross. Okay, I'll give you that, right? Jackie F says they both like younger women. They go to strip clubs. They get loose when drunk, and they're overly flirty. Okay, fine, but isn't that most men over 60? I'm just saying, right? And there was one other point. Miss Tarika says she does get like that with husbands. She's talking about Ashley, and she loves to victimize her motherhood. Absolutely. Every interview I've seen Ashley in, except when she was trying to prove to everybody that she was Miss Wide Body No More, and she was like, doing Doja Cat cosplay with the two braids and the silver dress. She ain't have a baby on her lap, but otherwise than that, whenever they're talking about anything that Ashley does, Ashley is pumping on air, breastfeeding, or bouncing that baby. Like, Ashley, stop it. Like, stop it. Do you guys think that Ashley, and there's one other comment I want y'all to keep in mind, right? And I thought this was a really good one. Natasha says, production was so messy. Ashley was trying to make Michael seem like such a good person. Where she was like, you can say what you want about Michael Darby, but he would never disrobe in front of people he just met. Cut to Michael stripping down to his underwear and trying to jump off a yacht, their first time that they ever met Gizelle and Robin and Karen. So I thought that was super funny too. But what do y'all think about these comments about Ashley victimizing her motherhood, and also about the way she keeps trying to make Michael so much better than he actually is?
Hey, Miss Judgy, how you doing?
Hey, how are you guys?
How's it going?
Yes,
I'm really good. Excited to be here. I'm glad I caught you guys live because I wasn't about to stay up and watch Salt Lake City.
okay, I know.
Wait, you guys,
I really
we're
wasn't.
doing a live.
Last episode was like, the one before that was like, and
But
I was
this
just like,
one?
I can't keep staying up for this because then I get dragged into watch what happens live.
You guys
That's
lies.
right.
Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. We're doing a review for Salt Lake City tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This episode was good. One of the husbands asked his wife for a sister wife. This is after he wanted more kids, and a kid would have made her transition to the next realm.
That's
And the
right.
thing is, the way he acts, I was looking at it and I was like, you already have a sister wife, don't you? That's why she's in the bathroom crying.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
you might as well just come out the closet. Just come out the back room.
That's right. That's right.
She's already unpacked. Like, all right. Then I'm
so
glad I
what is
recorded
it?
it anyway.
So really quick, we'll do it like this. We'll do Mel.
Let's do
then
Judgy. I was gonna say we could do Judgy first. I want so she can jump in.
Okay, but are you guys going to answer the questions? Judgy,
Okay.
we'll start with you. What do you think about what do you think about the production trying to be a little messy, trying to make Chris look like, because I see they're trying to make it seem like Chris is unhinged and a drunk. But that's one thing I can say about Chris. Even when he is drunk, and he was drunk, he seems like a lovable drunk. He just gets quiet.
He's funny, honestly.
You know what?
Like,
Okay.
He's like, why can't we just have a good time and have more drinks?
That's right.
That's the I get from him. I think that honestly, it's just because they always have these, I think so, I forgot who said it, but it's like they have these chopping blocks of stories, and they're trying to build this story off of all this footage, and they're trying to edge us to this, with the whole, like the whole fact that they have a whole bar of like drinks and stuff. And actually, when I sat back and thought about it again, I'm like, he just sold that restaurant. He probably had all that leftover alcohol from that. And it's not from him just being like just extra. It could just be what was left over, what was open and left over from when they closed.
That's a good point. But even then, I'm not a big drinker, but there's always a fully stocked bar in my house. Like literally, I'll go in and be like, "Oh, jalapeno tequila. Somebody might like that. Ooh, hibiscus vodka. Somebody might like that too." I literally buy new types of alcohol, cordials, everything, because you never know. And when my friends come by, I'm like, what y'all want? Y'all ain't got to go out to drink. I'm going to make you something. So to me, seeing somebody with a bunch of liquor, it doesn't mean you're drinking it. It just means, same way my closet. Same way if you come, I have every candy in the world. Am I eating it? I mean, yes. But
that's right. That's right. No, I was going to say, so I didn't notice. So that's why when you asked that, I was enjoying the episode. I loved the episode tonight. Really, I enjoyed it because it had a beginning, middle, and end. But I would say when it came to Chris, I just thought that he was so casual. He was so suave when it came last week. This week, he was like, you know what? My wife done this situation that stressed me the heck out. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to chill. I'm going to vibe. I'm going to, what we talked about at the beginning of the episode, he had a good time with his wife. They were very happy in the morning. And he wasn't feeling no pain. He was hungover. He had a good time. So I guess I didn't catch that edit. I just was like, I just saw him that he was happy. He was happy and sleepy, basically.
He was happy and sleepy. Now, this is a good point. And AC, I'm going to let you bring this around, right? Somebody said, I can see Chris Bassett divorcing Candace. She's draining. Now, here's the thing, guys. I might be in the minority. AC, let me say my point, and then you start, and then we'll go around the round table. I actually see Chris and Candace as having a really functional relationship. Mm-hmm. Whatever happens outside of them, whatever they are feeling, they never bring it to each other. It would have been really easy for Candace to be like, why did you have my back? And for Chris to be like, oh, you embarrassed me. And then to start infighting. But as soon as all that was over, they were right. Even when he was like, damn, why can't you ever be the bigger person? And she's like, babe, I'm sorry. And they just like kissed, did whatever, fell asleep, woke up, did some more, and then came back up. They just like, they were
Wanted to sleep
not
again.
mad with each other, But AC, what you think?
Yeah, well, for the liquor stuff with that editing that they keep showing him drinking, it's also during COVID, so like Robin may be sleeping more, but maybe Chris is dealing with it in another way. So I mean, I would just, if they're gonna keep showing it, just ask him straight up so we can get to the bottom of it. Like, stop trying to imply this, that he's like an alcoholic or whatever. As far as I completely agree with you 100%. I do see them having a functional relationship. I love their communication. The way that they can. I mean, there are some times where it's like a little awkward, and obviously in the group, they feel that way as well. But I do see them as having a normal relationship as well, and I actually would like to see more of their dynamics, and I look forward to seeing their family as well, like grow if she has kids, etc.
To your point, AC, you bring up a good one. I would be down for a Candace spinoff. I mean it. I would like to see her journey as a musical artist, or at least, like you said, for it to get more airtime. You know what I'm saying? Just something more where we can go with her to shows, performances, see the little thing between Chris trying to be husbander and husband, see Miss Dorothy pop in and throw shade and embarrass Candace. Like, I don't know. I think that would be really cute. I think that would be cute.
It kind of reminds me of like what you're talking about is like when they do those, when they go on concerts and they have like that movie that they come out with, that documentary of the.
Oh yeah,
that would be a really cool, fun idea.
A nice 3 episodes.
Yeah, 3 episodes, an hour each, give or take. That would be actually good.
This is the only one that literally, out of all the Bravo housewives, we could really get some footage of her opening up some cute little venues, doing this and doing. I mean, maybe she's not at stadiums yet, but she could definitely get some venues in her. Listen, Anita Baker co-signed on it. I think Bravo would really be missing out on. This is the first Bravo celebrity that has made the jump into mainstream music, and I would like to see some more of that. I would.
Yeah, I mean, because that would be the point of the franchise, right? We're watching these women, these aspirational women enter spheres, or they're coming from industries, with a lot of status and a lot of success. So this is their opportunity to bring it back to what the show was initially about, which was successful women or influential women.
Exactly. And who hasn't had, listen, I don't know about y'all, but who hasn't had a pop star fantasy, I remember when I was 12 in the mirror, like, literally, right? So, like, let's wait, no, that's not them, no.
And that's just like the dream right there, because that's been the fantasy they've always played for, like, teenagers or like preteen on those different shows, that they grow up and become a celebrity, be it an actress, be it, and then also she is an actress, not she hasn't been in great extensive things, but I saw her on, what was it, Family Reunion.
That's right.
Family Reunion with the Maury sister. That was a good one. That was a funny one. And that one, like, at first I was like, oh, that's Candace. And then I was like, she's really good at this. You know?
She's good. Yeah, she really is. I was going to say too, not to switch the subject, I was going to say Ray. So again, I'm not sure where you at, Tisa, with this, but I was going to say Ray to me was funny because he, people sleep on him sometimes. He reads. He really reads, because I remember last year when the question was, is Jamal coming? And when Gizelle came to the house without him, and Ray said, "Oh, I knew that was going to happen." He said it sort of said under his breath. He noticed all the drama delays. He get there, and Karen's like, "Okay, well, this is what happened." He said, "What?" And he was getting all the information.
Right.
And then he said to Gizelle, "Well, what?" He said, "What happened to your foot?" He said, She said, "Well, Karen broke it." And he said, "Well, you didn't go for the neck?" I said, "Oh, damn." Oh, damn. He reads. That's why they're a good match, because both Karen and him, they read. He reads as a man, but he definitely reads, that's for sure.
They're both witty.
That's right.
Super witty. I actually like Ray and Karen, even though it cracks me up that everybody still keeps trying to talk about Chris and Candace's relationship. But I really do have to say that oh, I'm like, sorry, I thought that was me. I'm like, what is that? I hear music in my head sometimes.
There was some
like,
rock music. It was
Yeah,
exciting.
I'm like, no, not again. Only I can hear the music. But
That was me. I'm sorry.
no, it's
That's
okay.
Wow.
So, Ray and Karen, they love each other greatly, but they have a very old school marriage where Karen's not even allowed to look at other men, if you get what I'm saying, and the way she's always trying to, no, there might be a man in the house and be modest. It's an old school marriage. I do remember last season, I hope it was for a storyline and not real, about when Karen was like, you don't love me anymore, Ray. I hope that was a storyline. But it just cracks me up the way everybody has so much to say about Candace's and Chris's marriage, when it's like, you look at Ashley's marriage, mess. You look at Gizelle's, non-existent. I'm not even shading, but she tried to work things out with Jamal. It didn't work. I don't look at that as anything against Gizelle, because Jamal was a trip. And when you leave someone that's trash to you, that only reflects good on you. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not that one of people hold on to a mate at all costs. If they're treating you bad, like, get that trash out of here.
Mhm.
Robin and Juan, they seem like they're in a good place. They made it through the storm, right? But again, everybody gave Robin space. And to that point, Robin's actually really lenient on Candace. She doesn't take the swipes that she could with Candace. So that's how Robin has like a sweet spot for Candace, right? Now somebody made a good point. Hold on really quick.
You see, I think that Robin probably, besides Wendy, has probably been one of the realest person to Candace on the show. I think that at first she didn't see her. She was like, "Who is this person?" She minimized her and all that kind of stuff. But over the years, she been in her corner against Monique. She really has been there. She never really did anything crazy in the confessionals. And she's talking to Ashley in the after show. She's not dragging her there either. So Robin really stands for Candace, and she sees when she's wrong, but she's fair with her, and I like that. I like that she's not dirty when it comes to Candace.
Yeah, exactly. Unlike her, oh
no, B said, "Come on, bonnet." She has her
cute.
on
too. She
yeah,
home.
I have a couple videos of me wearing a bonnet because today.
Listen, I love bonnets.
It was just.
I love bonnets.
And honestly, I don't really care, because I'm like, honestly, if the bonnet's the worst thing that I do today, then I'm having a great day.
We are not bonnet. Listen, this is not Monique's channel. We are not bonnet apologists. If you see me in the grocery store, you'll see me for bonnet too, please. And that's the funny thing people don't realize. Older people don't realize that when you see somebody with a bonnet, that means their hair is laid underneath and they're protecting it. So please don't apologize. Please welcome.
I have two separate bonnets. I have like a couple different bonnets, but I wear one bonnet when I go outside because it's COVID still. So I don't want to take all that stuff into my hair when I go into places. Like if I'm going out extensively, if I'm going to make like a big trip, like I'm going to because where I live, we have like shopping. We have a lot of shopping stuff right next to each other. So Walmart's across the street from Target, which is across the street from Best Buy, which is across the street from Kohl's, which is across the street from Michael's and Giant. So then you end up like in this big like circle that you can just keep going back and back. So I wrap up my hair because I'm like, I don't want whatever going on in my hair, so I can lay down with it,
That's actually a good idea. Right? Because that's actually a good idea. Okay. So, Judgy, that was a good idea. So, Judgy, here we go. And also, B, I want to pin that link. Let's give a shout out to B, the greatest moderator. B, do you think you can drop that link again on how to support Tisa? Spoiler alert, you can sign up for my membership for $4.99. There are 2 gossip videos. They are both 3 hours long, and we are dropping juice. They're available, and you can join the next live, which is members only. It's exclusive tea, and not any of that baby tea that you can read at TMZ or listen to all the other YouTubers gossip or even go to Crazy Days and Night. No, we have real legitimate tea. We get our sources from flight attendants of United Arab Emirates. And if you know anything about Emirates, you know everybody, even the king of Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE flies on that. We have legitimate gossip. We know people that work on shows, production. It's real gossip, not the shit that you can just read and find out for yourself. It's real behind the scenes gossip. So go on, follow, give a like. It's $4.99. And then there's 2 videos all up. You can watch them while you're cleaning, while you're washing your hair, while you're ignoring your kids. Wait, I'm sorry, feeding your kids or ignoring your husband, in that order, right? While you're doing all that, and more importantly, while you're ignoring your boss, because your boss ain't talking about shit, and your coworkers are nosy. So pop in the headphones and tune them out. All right, so you guys, let's get into. We're gonna break down some of the episode, right? For overseas Patreons for our overseas people, we're going to do that. B's going to drop that link so I can pin it. Where is that link? She's going to drop it in a second. Waiting for you, B. Okay, so listen, Ashley, right? Ashley, what did you think of Rob and Gizelle when they were leaving and making this? So if y'all don't know, as soon as the argument happened, they got back to the thing, and Robin and Gizelle were so mad, and I love Wendy for this, was so mad that Wendy was not thank you, B, that Wendy was not actually paying them any mind. And we talked about this last time. They're mean girls, right? And well, not mean girls, but more like sorority pledges, right? Where they want everyone to kiss their butt. And for the most part, everybody does.
Yeah,
but
big sister stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wendy is not the big sister stuff. Wendy is not in the mood. And Wendy is so funny. The more they complain, the more she's eating her shrimp, drinking her water. She's like, oh, well, yeah. Even they were like, well, this isn't what we're used to. And Wendy was like, okay, well, you guys have a good one. And she rolled out.
She did.
Wendy was so funny. But then when they got back home, y'all, and that's what I want to get your opinion on. The way they were doing everything they could to get attention. We're leaving in the middle of the night. And they were like, but there's only 2.5-star hotels around here. We don't care. We're out of here. And then Escala was like, is this serious? I peeped the way Mia was like, what you doing with my bag? Right? And Escala was like, it's not yours. It's Gizelle's. And then she came down and she was a part of the moment. What did you think about that whole scene? And what type of hotel do you think they went to? Do you think they were mad later on?
For me, as I said at the beginning, I just think that for me, all that was that Gizelle and Robin realized that they couldn't trigger Wendy. That they were supposed to come there. The assignment was they would go there, complain about their rooms, complain about how they injured and all this kind of stuff, and that they would have this full-on conversation with Wendy. That she would basically bow down, clean Gizelle's feet, and just do everything for her. Just because she's the queen and it lives in her head. And when she welcomed them into the house with smiles. She didn't take the snide little remarks that Gizelle did seriously. She just walked away, and that was it. She kept it classy. She didn't explode. They were trying her every chance they got. So when they left at the middle of the night, she was in the bed with her husband. She said, "Listen, they want a moment," and she went back to bed. I think it was brilliant. I think that in the past, I'm not a Monique stan, but I used to like her at one point. But I remember when she went to Paris. Gizelle was mad that Monique upgraded to the first class, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, this is not your business. If she wanted to upgrade to first class, it got nothing to do with you. So Gizelle will fight about anything if you give her a chance. She will annoy you about anything, and she's done that for seasons with Karen and with Monique and them. So Wendy knows that, and she said, "Listen, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it." So you want, like my parents would say, me and Tisa was saying this. In our home, if you're upset with where you live in or you're upset with what you're saying, you know where the door is. There's the door. And that's what she did. That was all she did.
Mel, it's so funny you bring that up because I remember when Monique upgraded, and I remember everybody was like, Gizelle's just mad she upgraded. And I was like, nobody would be that petty. And then goddamn, Mel, to your point, you tied it all back together. I guess she was mad. That's an interesting point because I didn't see it back then. I was just like, no, who would be that petty? But now you're right. Yeah, you're like, she will. Okay, so what else did you think about that?
Well, I'll give it to, I think it was about better for me. I'll definitely give it over to Mr. Ace or to Miss Judge Justice and see what they think.
So really, I thought it was really classy the way she handled it because they kept digging at it. They dug at the aggressive. They dug at this. They said that she was a bad hostess. She didn't talk to me, which were just flat out lies. And I liked how Wendy just brought it to, no, don't lie on me, and just walked back off.
No, okay, but tell the truth. She ran to that phone.
Like, yeah, she did run to the phone to say it because she wanted that moment because this was a good moment to have. But then as soon as she was done, she just, and like the same thing with like everything else. She's just like, she gets them and then like just disengages. It reminds me of what we used to, like what my I forgot, my friend group used to do a lot. Like if we wanted to, like if we were shading someone or we wanted them to do something and we were like or they were like we were trying to treat them less, then we would be like, hey, can you let me know what the homework was for this, and then just like slide it to them and then just disengage. Just
Oh,
not
really?
even not even wait for a response, not wait for them to say yes, I'll do it, no, I do it, do I want, just give it to them and then just walk away.
Y'all was
And do
running
like
shit.
we do in like it's a supervisor. We would just walk over and be like, hey, I
Mm.
need you to do this and this. It's due by 5 o'clock. I know you got it. And then just hand it to them and just walk away. Because that's basically what like Wendy's doing. She's taking it to another level where you can't even respond to it. And even if like you do respond, you're talking to yourself at this point because she's already
Mm.
disengaged, unbothered, drinking, eating, having a good time, already in the other room. And you're
Mm.
just sit there in your own piss.
True.
You can't piss on nobody. So you're pissed off.
That's a great analogy. You're like, you can't, you sitting in your
You
own
can't do
and you're
anything.
just mad. That's what it is. That's
Yes,
exactly what
yes.
it is. ACE, what do you think about that?
Well, to piggyback off of Judgy Justice, I pretty much feel the same way. I do see their frustrations with the bathroom. However, I think they have like the way that they maneuver around this group is like a sense of entitlement, and that's where it goes left for me. So I really applaud Wendy for how she's handling it. She's basically paying them dust, and I'm living for it at this point. And then also Gizelle did start that energy off with the whole bathroom when they had the reason to be shady in the tent and the outside of her construction site. So, this is just what you getting what you put out there. And then like there's a comment beep beep toot toot. The person said Wendy's effectively demonstrating what Chris is explaining to Candace. So that's what I'm really here for. The way she's just rising above it, paying them dust, and not giving them any sort of
True.
energy.
But do you think, ACE, that they're even coming? No, here's the thing. I know Giselle and Robin keep trying to have their moment, but nobody else is coming at Wendy, is there?
Oh no,
So
no,
it's really hard. Like
Mia.
at this point, she's torturing them, which I find everlasting amusing. But
yes, yes.
they played right into her hands, right? She knew they were going to probably come late, so they got the worst rooms, right? Those rooms were like, but again, they act like she had them sleeping on like the floor. It's like, what? Like, stop!
Yeah.
You don't have your man with you, so let's have two twin beds. Like, would you stop? Maybe I'll sleep anywhere, but I would have grabbed a pillow and rolled over and been like, all right, whatever, you know.
I just
Also,
I didn't
really
really
quick,
care for like Mia's pretentiousness about the whole thing because like you didn't see anybody yesterday. Did you really think somebody was going to show up like 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning and have breakfast ready
okay,
for
let me
you?
tell y'all
I think
something.
that's
I
just
traveled. Let me tell you how I know Wendy's pretentiousness. It's because here's the thing, right? I traveled a lot during COVID. A lot. First of all, if you could travel during COVID, hotels were dirt cheap. A hotel room that's $1,000 a night, they were trying to give that away for $99 on
That's
TripAdvisor.
right.
They were so cheap. Also, even the best hotels were dirt cheap. Also, they there was COVID measure, and also you felt like you had the place to yourself because nobody else was traveling. But there were COVID measures in place, and that's when I was like, Mia, if you had traveled during it, you would know this. And they're still doing this, even in the best hotels. They cut off room service. People do not enter your room once you check in, right? You might have maid service, but that's only if you stay only, and this is in a really good hotels, if you stay over a certain amount of days. I know for a fact, and even now with the best hotels, nobody is coming to. And now there are, when you go in, they'll come and unpack your shit, right? And when I pack, all my stuff just goes in one suitcase because they're probably like, this girl don't got any home training, everything wrinkled, right? And I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Where do you want us to put this? Wherever you want. I don't care, right? So I literally throw my clothes in a ball and put it in there. And they'll come and they'll unpack everything. But during COVID, and a lot of hotels still aren't doing that. They don't have people in your room because they don't want their employees to get sick. Just like even the few hotels that did start doing room service. Now I know now the vaccine things have changed, but people that were doing room service, they would leave that shit right at the door, knock, and then run. So I was like, Mia, shut up. And not even that. I get the pretentiousness, but there's nothing more annoying than when somebody acts like they've never had, and this wasn't roughing it, But it's like, yeah, you can say the best places, but there's nothing more annoying when somebody acts like they never had to stay at a Holiday Inn or
That's
a Motel
right.
6 or
Right.
something. Like, stop
You know
playing.
what?
Exactly. When you're saying,
I think
especially
that's
when you have
professional.
like the ball ground strip club background, you
Come
know
on
that
now.
you've
I
been through
mean,
it.
really.
You've
And
seen it before.
I love that you brought this point. That was one of my little written down things. What I think, so I'll ask you all this. So I already vetted this out, and I love that you went there. I was going to say, do you think that that maybe her saying that she wants the best at all times was just a put on? It's just something she puts on for protection. Because for me, it seems like, as you were saying, that she grew up with knowing the other side of life. So a lot of times, ladies who who grow up that way, or just people in general who grew up that way, they're not going to go out there and be as stuck up as she tries to present. I feel like maybe she feel like that's sort of a way to make her look more respectable. Just sort of say, I know what good things, I know what expensive, I know what the finer things in life are, and I want that at all times. And I think that for me, it just feels like it's fake to me. It doesn't feel like I just feel like that's something she thinks she has to say.
Yes, it does. Wait, just for you guys to know, breaking news. It looks like Fallon has gotten engaged to.
Oh, wonderful,
Oh, I'm sorry,
wonderful.
not engaged. No, engaged to
Yeah,
Jalen.
engaged.
Engaged. I was about to say married. Then it was just like,
Put it
girl.
on, make them want to marry me.
In honor of
Uh-oh.
Fallon and Jalen. Come on, y'all. Judgy Justice, jump in. You know what's going to happen next. Wait for it. Watch Instagram. I'm psychic. Wait for Portia and Simon to act a fool, to either take the attention or what else can happen? She already gave the man a ring, but let's just wait for it. Something dumb's going to happen. They're going to do something to show they're so love wins, but we'll see, right?
I feel like it may be like an engagement party they may have. That might be the next thing that would make sense in this thing. Would have an engagement
Or
party.
not renewal.
Who is coming to the engagement party? What are they going to do? Fly people out to that long-term rental they have in
Oh
Costa
no.
Rica?
Costa Rica.
Know it.
Like our home.
Know it.
And listen, and the funny thing is, you see Portia on the beach trying to act like she's having the time of her life. Girl, we all been to Costa Rica. It's cool to chill out and relax, but after 2 weeks, you're like, all right, so what else
I'm
is going
done.
on? That's
Right.
that's the thing about vacation things. Everybody dreams, oh my God, I could live in the Bahamas. But then, no shade to the Bahamas, but when you come from like any type of big city, after 2 or 3 weeks, you're like, okay, let me go back. Let me see what's going on. She's trying her best to look like, oh my God, Costa Rica, flowers from our garden. I said, girl, good thing, because you know he don't have a house in Atlanta. So and it's a long-term property rental. But you know what? I digress. I'm gonna do a makeup a mess on this look, and we're gonna talk about that. Let's get back to the task at hand. Let's get back to the task
So
at
back,
hand.
so
Okay.
back to what Mel was saying about the whole if is it pretentious or is it real? So I really think it's like there's two paths that people go into when they've experienced that trauma. Either they're like they take two extremes in a sense. Either they're going to be really pretentious, want the best for themselves, never want to be broke again. Shout out to that rapper. or they're gonna try and bring people up and trying to fix the situation that they've been through.
Yeah,
So
right.
so my take on it is that I feel it's really fake and pretentious, especially the way that she played on to us last episode about how this was the worst thing ever, posted on Instagram how terrible she could be, posted these statistics that, again, she's not a college educated person because she didn't cite her sources. And if she really cared about these children in foster care, if she really cared about the strippers, if she really cared about all those different things she was trying to point out that she'd been through, she would have a foundation since she's so rich. She would be on a charity board and showcase that charity, like, hey guys, if you want to prevent this, here we go. So again, it's always a put on with her. And it was a put on with G. I feel like they probably were rehearsing their lines this morning before they came down and to talk about it, because again, they were too in sync, for that. Because again, I feel like G, I've seen G cook in his kitchen, so G cooks. So I don't see why he would be too off-putting, like, oh, there's nothing here. That was a rehearsed moment. So they've been practicing on this for a while. They've been practicing what they wanted to showcase on this trip in front of all these people for like the last couple of days leading up
That's
to the
right. Yeah, I think
like as soon as they got mic'd up for the car ride, that's when they got quiet.
Exactly. Yes, they're putting on a showcase. G's going along with Mia. You can tell that I think they also honestly have a strong marriage. The way they know to have a united front and to way to have each other's back, right? Again, maybe it's just the way I was raised. There's something odd to me when I see people airing their dirty laundry out in public. I'm not saying they don't go home and fight like cats and dogs, but there's something particularly shocking when I see someone like go. And Mia and G seem to have this thing, but I'll tell you what though, when G was doing the G Wagon thing, and then when he was whatever, you could see Mia cringing because I agree with you. They practiced their lines, but then to see it in real life, she's like, oh, this is falling flat. Stop. And G's still like, hold on.
He's like, I'll remember. I know the part. Line,
exactly.
please. Line.
But to that point of Mia, I agree. Sometimes when you've been through a lot, you're like, no, I want the best of the best. And for every woman, man, or child, if you're a child, ask your mommy if it's okay to listen to this chat. But everybody should literally be deserving of and want the best for themselves. But you're right. It does come across as pretentious. But I think, to your point, Judge of Justice, Mel, this is the role that she decided she was going to be, high class, businesswoman Barbie, this, that, and she's sticking to it. So I admire Mia for committing to her role, I admire that. Now, listen, what about when Gizelle and Robin were leaving and then they had Escala doing it, I do think Escala might be permanent next season because they keep adding her more and more and more. Even the way Robin and Gizelle chose to pull Escala in. Mia saw that and creeped out her door because nobody's getting a nickel bag will not be sold without Mia being a part of it, right? So Mia jumped into that scene. But how funny was it that Wendy was like, she's just a drama queen, and Eddie was being nosy looking out that window. I love Wendy and Eddie. They're just
that was funny.
Yeah, they've been like
a
the
real couple moment. That ACE, what did you think of that moment?
Oh no, I love that. Honestly, Eddie and Wendy on this trip, they've been the comic relief. So every time they cut to like Eddie's comments, like I just want to see more of Eddie and his sense of humor.
Yes.
And Wendy just like checks them and like she is completely unbothered by it. And then Eddie's just sitting back and throws in like the last little remark, and it's just hilarious. So yeah, that scene was entertainment for me.
Yeah, Eddie is to Queen Dara. You're right. Eddie is low key petty, and I love it. And even how Wendy was like, "She's just stupid, leave her," and Eddie's creeped out the window like, "No, I see them getting into." I love. It's just the funniest thing I ever seen.
I mean,
the producers even more for making them drive their own vehicles. That 3-4 hour drive.
Yeah,
oh my god.
That 3-4 hour.
Because I live in Maryland, so I know exactly where they went. Like I know exactly like how the area, and you have to go over this bridge, and that bridge is scary. Yeah, that bridge is scary because it's only one road, one way in, one way road, and they're trying to now get a budget to expand it to make it 2 lanes in each direction, but it's one way, one road. So if one car, and there's no break, and there's not really a break in between these roads, so if one car decides to have a bad day, everybody's having a bad day on that bridge.
Oh, I know. I don't know bridges like that, but I imagine there's not that much street light. There's not much light out there either. So it's like really scary.
It's really bad, especially at night. You don't want to go.
Is that why everybody was like, no, why are you leaving? Stay, wait till tomorrow, because they knew they were going over the bridge of death.
They weren't close enough to go over the bridge. They're in the middle of nowhere. So they were like in an Airbnb or whatever. And there's not that much around there. So all it is like little food pockets around the water.
Yes.
And
okay. That's super, super scary. Now, this is a good point, right? I want to get you guys' take on that. They said Escala served fashion even in her pajamas. She was too cute. When she came out in those little pink pajamas, I said, okay, and you didn't get those off of Amazon Prime. Go ahead, Escala, right? And then Nervaz says, Tisa and Tattle Tells, do you believe that Escala gave us enough to earn a wife spot next season? You know what, honestly, now that Robin's moved from neutral into she now has beef with Wendy, and you can believe it's warranted beef or not. But now she has a storyline with Wendy because next season they can work on repairing their relationships or going to war. I do think we need Escala's energy. Escala is neutral. She is beautiful. I mean, Dre don't want to be on camera. Dre's over the whole thing, but she's beautiful. She's neutral. Her friend, but when I say neutral, that good type of neutral. She's friends with everybody. And if you notice, she low key tells everybody about themselves in a way nobody gets offended. So I love the fact that she literally is that reasonable person that's just like, yeah, but you were wrong. So I do think that we need a Scala. I think she earned her place because we need it, what y'all, because it can't always be drama. I want Potomac to get back
I think we need balance.
Yes.
Yeah, but I wanted to get back to what it was with the reasonably shady party, which is what I used to remember Potomac being. There's shade, there's this, but then it's just like feel good. You end up laughing in each scene.
That's true.
And then it's lighthearted. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more of Escala's takes on like everything that's going on. I like when they give her a little confessional moment. We haven't really gotten any confessionals from her outside of like those few episodes ago, but I would love to see more of that because she is very level-headed. She does assess the situation. She does low-key tell everybody about themselves, and you kind of need that in the group because everyone at this point is moving strategically, kind of. So it's just nice to have that somebody just come in fresh and be like, "Nah, you ain't shit, even though she's not doing that, but
You know what? I agree with that. Now let's just sing, right? Does anybody? I mean, I know the answer. I think is Bravo chat room still a thing?
I think it only comes on only when like Watch What Happens Live is on hiatus.
Yeah, exactly.
Whenever Andy wants a break, he brings out just Gizelle and Portia. Like, come on, girls, hit the set.
Now, funny you say that because word on the curve is that Watch What Happens Live might be being canceled, but. Ooh. You ain't heard that from me. Yes, you did. Watch What Happened Live might be getting canceled because don't forget at one point, Andy was the darling of Bravo. He was the one that bought us all the Real Housewives shows. Now, mind you, there were production companies that made them and he just greenlit them. But they thought of him as the guy that had his finger on pop culture. Everything he touches turns to gold. By under Andy Cohen's direction, Bravo rose to be one of the great networks that we all talk about. I say this because we're in the thing, right? Look at me doing Bravo's Andy Cohen's eulogy, right? One of the titans of TV. It rose to be. The thing is, the networks are looking at the ratings Housewives are bringing in, the advertising dollars, and how much they pay. And for whatever reason, they just can't get right. Now, even though Bravo, Andy is not officially named, his opinion, they always weigh in the direction to take Housewives. The fact that Housewives have been going off the cliff is because Andy's been telling them, no, turn left. The network execs, well, all they care about is rating and money. It's just like, we keep taking your advice. This keeps getting worse. We keep losing more viewers. What is going on? So the fact that they're scaling back on Housewives shows, Mel and I were talking about this, even moving some of the shows to Peacock. You never know. Maybe all the shows might go to Peacock. But moving the shows to Peacock, doing this, doing that. Okay, fine. But now Andy and what his value is, his value was the pop culture, the Housewives whisperer. And now that he can't bring in hit shows, they're like, well, what's the point of giving you your vanity project? Watch What Happens Live. Watch What Happens Live has never brought in views. It's something the core people watch. We'll maybe watch that and talk about it. But it's really just a vanity project as a thank you to Andy Cohen for everything. But now they want to take that thank you back. So that's what the word on the curve is with that.
That's like the mob. Like it's like them having to come kiss like the ring on.
Yes,
that's right.
The housewives, the celebrities have to come kiss the ring. So that's kind of how I felt about it because like I couldn't understand. When I was younger, I couldn't understand why was the show on.
Well, you know what's so funny?
I didn't understand like what was the whole like big jazz about it.
So wasn't it funny when Kathy Griffin made such a good analysis of Andy and the program and all that?
What'd she say?
Well, she said that what other executive on network TV has a show? She sort of said that it was a vanity show, that he did a lot of cocaine behind the scenes, and that he was misogynistic, and I mean she went into a lot of things, and she dragged him basically.
Yeah, she said I agree with you. I heard that too. She said, what executive producer gives themselves their own show?
Oh,
And
That's
no
right.
no
That's
I
producer,
mean,
no
an
executive
executive producer who can.
she
The
wrote.
only one that kind of comes close to that is Mona Scott, and that was only with the reunions, and she got dragged for doing the
And what's the
reunions
lady
because of
from
the way she set
from
them up.
Basketball Wise? I forget her name too.
Shawnee.
Oh yeah,
Shawnee, yeah.
What's her name? Jackie
Shawnee
Brown.
O'Neal.
Shawnee O'Neal.
All right, I'm sorry. My
No,
brain
Shawnee.
ain't
Okay, so
kicking.
listen, let's see about this, right? So then, Ashley is breastfeeding on the boat
Mhm.
I
again.
actually have that breast pump.
Listen,
You do? Okay, okay.
wait,
But
you
but
what?
then they
I'm
said
so
both of her.
excited when I saw that. I was like, I'm like kind of rich,
Uh,
and if
but
like I
then
have that one, and they have
but
that
then
one.
they called both of her breast pumps. They said, "Oh my gosh, your breasts look like two uncircumcised baby penises." I said, "Oh my gosh." I said,
Now don't
"What?"
get my channel demonetized. But
Okay,
listen,
okay, okay,
no. But all jokes aside, no, we'll use the p word. But all jokes aside,
okay.
Ashley, and I think everybody was getting sick of it too because everybody on that panel, right? Everybody that was on that boat literally had children. And I know what everybody's saying. Listen, when you got you got to pump this and that, this, that, and the third. But nobody finds it odd that Ashley always has to pump when the cameras are around. Every interview she has, everything, even the way she has that baby on her lap, every single interview. And we know you have a nanny, right? We know you have a nanny. So it's just giving me like, again, you know what they say, as long as you have a baby in front of you, who can really be mad at you? And it's true. When's the last time you cursed, unless you were out of your mind, when's the last time that you've cursed somebody out that had a baby? And even if you saw somebody cursing somebody out that had a baby and young children, strangers get involved, like, miss, control yourself. Like, there's children here. So Ashley knows what she's doing, you know? It's not, I do agree, though. A lot of people are saying, does Ashley really need to be a housewife? Can she be demoted to a friend because she's never there for the important scenes? She always gives her 2 cents, but Mia was more of a housewife. Scala was more of a housewife than Ashley was, and especially because Michael can't even come around for obvious reasons,
Well,
right?
Ashley noticed that on Watch What Happened Live. She said, "Why in the heck was I not at the fight with Monique? Why wasn't I there with this and that?" She noticed all these things you just said. That every time something big happens, she's not there. But I think that what they can't say. Were you there, beloved, honey? Were you there? I mean,
She
listen.
said, were you there,
That
beloved?
lives in my head.
Come on, she never is.
My issue with the whole breast pumping thing was the fact that she wasn't covering up.
Okay.
Because like that's another thing. Like you're actually like that was one thing on the boat. She set them up. Usually most people, if you're breastfeeding, and I've breastfed before because I've another child.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
it's what you call it, and you put on your stuff first, and then you go ahead and latch on.
Well,
You
I
don't
think that
latch on first and
yeah.
then try and find your thing. You try
Oh,
and
Well, I
really?
think
up.
Like
you know what.
So it was weird on the boat because it's like, and it was the same thing in the room. She was in the room, and you're on camera on national television. You want
But
to show.
Justice, I think because you have sense and she don't, basically.
That's true. That's true.
just
Because I
for a
would have
moment.
just took Michael Darby to court and cashed out my half of real estate.
Come on, girl. I know
She
that's
doesn't
right.
have half
Listen,
though.
listen.
She doesn't have half though. She literally, Michael made her a new prenup. Then when he got caught on Grind or whatever, he was
Ooh.
like, okay,
For the third time.
Oh.
yeah, he was like, oh, I'll sign something giving you whatever. And she's like, no, you don't have to do that. I'm gonna prove my love. I said, you're a goddamn idiot. I said, you're
Yeah, you
hustling
was an idiot.
backwards.
She had him on the ropes.
Hustling
The
backwards.
ropes.
I would have penciling in zeros, literally penciling in zeros. Like, please, no. Like, but anyway,
Her mom is probably so upset with her. That's why her mom be looking like that. It's just like you dumb.
I think
Ashley's family is not here for Michael. They are not. Every time
No.
that she's speaking to them about it, they all look. I feel like they're all looking like her, like she's crazy.
they are. They're all looking like, what's that meme that's like, dun, 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 and everybody's giving like a different look. That's that damn meme, and that's the way Ashley's family looks at Michael. Everybody's giving a dumb look from all different angles, and Michael's just sitting there like. And Ashley's like, he's so much better now. Like, Ashley, but you know she does that game.
If he's so much better, then why do you have to keep calling him Michael Darby?
Oh,
Oh,
because
that's
she's in
right.
love. Listen, Ashley was on Say Yes to the Dress. If you guys don't believe me, put an Ashley Darby Say Yes to the Dress. She came in with her hair super thin. I wonder if Ashley wears extensions because her hair was thin, right? And you could tell she flat ironed it herself, right? And her hair was in a low pony. She came in with some Steve Madden pumps and another rainbow shop dress. And don't tell me that, oh, it doesn't matter. She puts her money in other things. Bullshit. When you marry a man for money and he is double your age and he looks like he has leprosy, I want to see. So, like, what are you doing this for if not? But she was like, she was like, you could tell that she was just like regular working girl, definitely working class, right? No shade in that, but you could tell it's like, and the fact that you chose to show up on TV in these pumps and this dress with your hair like that, it's like, okay, you're broke, whatever, right? So she was like so proud to tell everybody in the dress store and Say Yes to the Dress that she was getting married to Michael Darby. I think
Wow.
Ashley came from very, very humble beginnings, and she felt like she snagged herself Jeff Bezos. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you could talk as much shit as you want. Judgy Justice, if Jeff Bezos asked you to marry you, you'd be calling everyone like, yes. What?
She went to college 30 minutes away from me with a friend of mine.
Oh, did she
Wow.
really?
Yeah.
Any
She was
juice?
like really nothing really shady. She was really sweet when she was doing nursing school. She was trying to become a nurse with
Good,
her.
good,
And then next thing you know, she fell off. But right over here in like Albany, Maryland, she was right over there.
Wow.
Oh, that's super interesting.
Yeah. You know what I was going to say too? Oh, yeah.
But and then also her budget was really bad. It was only $10,000.
That's another thing on Say Yes to the Dress. They said, how much is the budget? And she said 10,000. And I said, God damn it, people working regular 9 to 5s can put 10,000 for their, oh wait, no, it was 10,000 for the dress, which I still thought, again, for regular people, 10,000 for a dress is a lot. When you are marrying a multi-millionaire, again, when people are like, oh, maybe she doesn't like to waste money, but do you understand that when you are marrying somebody that's 100 millionaire, it doesn't matter. You're not taking electric money or rent money or the college kids' tuition. Do you understand that when they die, there will be money sitting in the bank? There's money to actually splurge and have the thing. And even the guy at the Say Yes to the Dress was like, oh, 10,000? Well, let's go. It was at Kleinfeld's or whatever. He was like, well, let's go over to this. These are nice dresses.
Not this section.
Yes, we have lovely ready-to-made dresses. Like, he literally was like, oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, let's go over here. So Ashley with Michael, but this is another thing. Y'all swear that I'm clowning people that drop at Rainbow and Rave. Yeah, I'm sure if you look in my closet, there's something from Rainbow or Rave or Joyce like that. That's not it. We all shop at cheap places. I have 2-piece sets from Amazon Prime. I'm not a clothing snob. However, if I was to marry somebody double my age with leprosy and everything over me, their skin flakes are falling in my eyes. God damn it. No, I'm not shopping at Rave. No, not after last night.
And it's just like, and everything he's put you through, it isn't like he married you, did you good, and all this other stuff. He's drug you through the mud.
Uh-huh.
You can't even, you're not even sure if you should worry about if you go into a room, if he's talking to a man or a woman.
Oh.
You know what?
You have to worry about both sides of it.
Well, listen. We don't want to get into that. We love the bi community here.
No, I mean, like, yes, we do. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying
it's extra stress.
He's a cheater. It's extra stress.
It's the extra stress.
Yeah.
And you know one thing,
history.
Yes, and you know the one thing that might bother her the most about Candace, every single time that Michael is caught with someone, they're Candace's complexion, man or woman.
Oh.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Michael has a preference. Apparently, with the coffee and cream, he likes light cream in his coffee. That's all I'm saying.
And we could see, like, because in the the trailer for the next episode, she's trying to do a little provocative scene with him, And then next, she's sitting there talking to a therapist. And she's saying that he doesn't want to do, he doesn't want to engage in these activities with me. I keep trying, but he doesn't want to engage in these
What
activities.
activities?
Well, she was straddling him in
not
that
to me.
episode.
She was trying to get up on him.
Yeah.
I was going if YouTube flag me. I can't say. I don't know. I'm trying to pull out all my friendly words.
Listen,
Right.
My bonnet.
What though?
Yes. He was in a leopard dress. He was sitting on a chair.
Yeah.
She had her
I actually have
over
like
him, and she was like trying to seduce him, and like
That's
and
he had
now
the
I think
blindfold
about
on.
skin flakes.
Yeah, but ACE to this point, do y'all remember that it was either last season or 2 seasons ago? Where I said, goddamn, Ashley is working for that damn money. He had kicked her out the house and he let her back in. Right? She was on the phone with Gizelle and she started crying because I guess she took stock of her life about what she got to do whatever. And let's not forget that Ashley was Miss DC or whatever. So she had access to that circle. But he let her back in and she came home. And no, she bought out strawberries and whipped cream and blindfolded him and fed him strawberries. And Micah was all like eating the strawberries. And I was like, throwing up in my mouth, trying to fast forward. And then she took that blindfold off and then rubbed his face like this. It was a weird energy and looked at him and said, let me see you. You're beautiful. And Michael lit up. And I was like, what in the world is going on? And I said, that's right. I like earn that money, Ashley. But at the end of the day, she didn't earn the money. It's enough for her to be Mrs. Michael Darby, who cheats on her and embarrasses her. But I will never forget the scene of the strawberries and whipped cream. So to tell me that there was leopard and he didn't want anything on her, even though you guys, this is a conspiracy theory. Do you think Ashley does it so she looks gross to Michael? Because she's always talking about her uterus hanging out, breast pumping.
Oh my God.
Even when she was talking to Michael on FaceTime, she angled the camera right there so he had to look up from the breast pumps, right? And after a certain time, it's just like, listen, yes, what the human body it does is amazing and it's beautiful. But just how you're not going to sit on the toilet right before you climb into the bed with your man or woman. You know what I'm saying?
That's too real. That's too real. Yeah.
I think she just doesn't have common training. I think she just doesn't have common training.
I think so.
I really don't. I really don't think that she was taught like certain things you have to be taught and certain things you learn.
That's
she just hasn't been taught that stuff. I feel.
It also strikes
I
me
really
as
think because like.
Wait, AC, what are you saying?
Like she's calculating. So I see what you're saying, but I feel like she's smarter than that.
Thank you. I agree with you, ACE. Judgy Justice, Mel, I see what you guys are saying, but Ashley's too calculating because to ACE's point, didn't Ashley turn Michael out being like, yay, girls, boys, whatever y'all want, David Guetta. Yes, you like her, we'll bring her home. She literally thought like he got like the freak of the week. And then 2 years later, she's like breast pumping. Like she's calculating. She knows what Michael wants and she gave enough to him.
So what I will say to that is I think she's calculating, absolutely. I mean, I can't watch the show without thinking about her being manipulative and calculating. But I will say to Judge Justice, you all ever have a friend come over to your house and your family looking at them like, damn, they got no home training. I think sometimes it's that feeling with Ashley too, especially when she's around the girls. So as Judge Justice was saying, she was describing, I don't know anything about childbirth or what you do for all the beautiful things that happens. But I know my sisters and nieces and all these people, and they breastfeed and the milk, but they don't do it the way she do it. I mean, it's natural and beautiful, but it doesn't have to be a show. I think that actually makes it into a show, and I think
it's
yeah.
And
I think that
conversation, it's just like Ashley. It is.
Yeah, I think she could be a little more discreet. And again, it's not. Listen, it's a beautiful thing. I think she's a beautiful woman. The process is beautiful, but I think she's making she's a little extra. How about that? She's a little extra with it. That's all.
She is extra.
I think also, it's hard to believe if she's really being calculating or not, because then the times that she needs to follow through on something with Michael, so nail him to the cross financially wise, she doesn't do it. So it's like, are you really, gonna
See, here's
get
the
this
thing.
man for his money,
But here's the
before
thing,
or
Judgy
not?
Justice. You can be calculating, but have your blind spots. And I firmly believe that Michael is Ashley's blind spot. I think it's enough because I think that he hits all her father things also. I think it's enough that Michael is with her. And she is calculating because even those kids, I think she sees as a paycheck. But Michael's her blind spot. Michael knows also how to get in her head. Oh, you don't want to look like a gold digger, but I'll sign it. But if you love me, I wouldn't need to sign it. And that's just like, okay, we don't need it. Again, you can be calculating but still have a blind spot. That's how most evil villains go down. It's that one damn blind spot,
Evil villain.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But I was going to say, not to change the subject again, I was going to say, just in general, Karen for me was so funny because two things she said. When she said that Gizelle leaving in the middle of the night was tacky, about as tacky as the clothes she wears, that was funny. And when she said, well, why don't y'all get over there and put some bacon on the stove? You put it on 5 minutes later, Gizelle was going to be right here because she loved to eat. That was very funny.
Yeah,
So,
that was a good one.
yes, it was.
Would nobody say Karen and Giselle's fashions are interchangeable for me? I know one time, like Giselle might fall. So we have the median, right? There's the low, there's the high, and there's the median. In the median, which is what is it, 4 to 7, medium range, and then there's 3 to 0, and then there's 7 to 10. Karen sometimes is an outlier on the high end. She'll somehow break into an 8 or 9. Giselle might somehow break into a 3 or 2. But on the average, those women's clothes are interchangeable. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Fight me in the comments. They're interchangeable. They're just, I don't know. What do y'all think of their fashions?
Well, Giselle gives me just unfortunate, and I think Karen gives me a little Diane Carroll on like Dynasty or like different words. She gives me some of that sort of diva kind of feeling. It's not. Is it the best of the best? No, but I don't know. For me personally, interchangeable. I think that Karen is cool. She's a cool lady, and I like some of the things she wears. I don't like anything that Giselle wears. So that's just how I fall down on that.
I would like what Gizelle wears in a different order.
Okay.
That's my take on it. And I think that also Karen, sometimes she wears clothes that are just too tight. Like I understand fitting clothes, but some
Karen?
of it's a little Karen. Yeah, some of her clothes, or maybe it could be just the angle of the camera. But sometimes I be catching like the wrong side, and I'm like, it should be a little bit looser in those directions. Maybe that's just because I don't know, like my husband's grandfather was like a tailor and he used to tailor stuff for us all the time.
Okay.
It used to be particularly in women's clothing. So we would see that type of stuff and know like what it's supposed to look like and how it's supposed to just kind of flow. It's not supposed to drape off of you. It's supposed to like be like, shapely and nice. And sometimes it's just not made for her, or she's not putting the extra money in to go get it tailored to fit her body shape. So I don't really like Giselle's anything, honestly. I like her face. That's it.
Right.
I can look at her face all day. I could just like deal with her in a confessional look like this all day. Everything else wears her hair. I don't like. I don't like this. And
you mean her go naked hair? You're not feeling go naked hair line.
I don't like Giselle's and also I feel like Gizelle needs to get like implants in her hair. I'm not sure, like I'm not trying to be extra shady, but I've noticed in some of these scenes, I'm not trying to be extra shady. I'm not. I'm really concerned. It just seems like in the front right here, she's having thinning. It looks very thin up here. And I'm not sure if it's because she's straightening her hair or is it actually not there anymore or what.
Well,
but like some of the scenes, like especially on this trip, like on the boat ride, I saw that it was thin here. So I'm not sure if it was the color.
Maybe it could have just been the color. But then again, who knows, right? Because I will say one thing about COVID. I suffered from it. Well, I didn't have COVID, but during Corona, there was something going around where a lot of people I know, including myself, like the hair just started thinning. It came back no problem, but it was just like a weird thinning of the hair. Like edges were weaker. It was just weird. Did anybody else have that problem during COVID? Because it was just me, and it was a few of my friends too that were just like, "What the hell is going on with our hair?" So maybe it was COVID, or whatever virus was around COVID going on. We want to say thank you so much for B for the super chat, and also to Nerva Rock. Thank y'all so much for the super chats. I appreciate it respectfully. For those of you that don't want a super chat because you want value for your money and this chat is enough, y'all know I do special members only lives, $4.99. That's only $5 a month. You can cancel anytime. Hit the join link. It's in the description box. It's on this channel. It's everywhere. We do members only lives. It's exclusive tea. And when I say exclusive tea, I know you guys are tired of hearing all the lame recycled gossip. And by that, I'm going to have some recycled gossip on my channel too. But you're sick of hearing lame recycled gossip. And it's like the same 20 people saying the same 30 things. This is certifiable tea. You have not heard it. It gives you new insight. And like I said, a lot of our sources are Callie Steve. Shout out to Callie Steve. Our flight attendants on United Emirates. We got production assistants. We got actors. We got actresses. We have models. We have scouts. Y'all, if it's anyone we know, listen, it's always a good time. It's exclusive tea. The only rule is whatever happens in the chat stays in the chat. And yeah, we were talking about so many things, and this week it's going to be even better. And we also, if you have your favorite celebrities that you've always wondered about, you can always shoot me an email. You can put in the members only chat. Ask questions. I'll get information on them. If there's information to get, we don't make shit up around here. We literally do try to get some dirt. But if there's no dirt, we can be like, yeah, they're an angel, wrong way, but they're never angels. So there's something. Anyway, the next one is going, and also T Love Palmer. T Love Palmer, I missed it. Thank you so much for the super chat, mama. Where's T Love Palmer's super chat? Oh, here we go. Thank you, T Love Palmer, for the super chat. Appreciate it. All right, so let's get back to this chat really quick. I see there are 205 people here. And I only have 103 likes. Why are y'all always embarrassing me? Why are y'all always embarrassing me?
And I sell literally thousands of books on Amazon.
Hit that like button. Please, y'all. It's free. It costs you nothing. And even if it costs you a little bit of energy, you gotta give what you got. Da-da. I just made that song up, but y'all get the point, right?
Cute.
Let's talk about Mia and Candace. Let's talk about that grown woman apology.
Mm-hmm. That nobody saw coming. Everybody said that she was incapable of doing it.
Mm-hmm. Grown woman, and like Mel said, when Mia said, okay, so I just want to apologize for that, because the funny thing is, as much as everybody dragged Candace that night, I saw the emotion in the way she was acting. And Mia, who's been hurt before, right? She saw too. When you have been through pain, you can recognize another person's pain. Now, you might not give a damn, but you can recognize another person's pain. I think Mia saw it too. And I think that when Mia apologized, one, she wanted to smooth everything over, because that's what Mia does. She's like, let's make it to the next scene. Two, I do think when Candace said, I was nice to your ass, Mia was like, oh, wait, she was. And three, I think that Mia, regardless of if anybody else believed it, I think that Mia realized, even though she didn't understand, that she had hit a low blow, right? And that's why Candace went in on her and that she was hurt. Mia apologized. She held out an olive branch. She did not have to do that, especially because everybody was on her side, right? So she didn't have to do that. I give Mia her props. All right, Mia. Candace took it, said thank you. She was vulnerable, which is what everybody, this is the funny thing I don't understand about people, and y'all can weigh in here. I don't understand how people are like, be on your grown woman shit. But part of being a grown woman is not being on your Viking shit all the time. It's not being on the, oh, it's not phasing me. That's a part of being a grown up. But also part of being a grown up is having the courage to actually be emotionally vulnerable and show people that you are hurt. Show people, because a lot of times people will eat you up over that. But there is something to me as being a grown woman. Part of that is showing your soft, feminine energy and showing, yeah, I was hurt. And this did hurt me. And I want to find a way to find truth. I thought that was very, very grown woman. And again, for everybody in the comments, crying does not equal weakness to me. Lying equals weakness. Being a snake equals being weakness. Being ego-driven is a weakness. You know what I'm saying? Hubris is a weakness. But crying, that's not a weakness. That's like a natural human thing. But what y'all think? Weigh in on it.
Well, I'll just say one thing quick, as I sort of started off the episode because I love that scene. Again, it's just we've seen it across all the platforms where people have given apologies and it's been one sided, and just the way it's been. So Candace could have simply sat there and let Mia apologize to her, and because Mia is not really aggressive in that regard to say, "Girl, I need your apology," she wasn't doing it. We didn't see nothing going that way. And Candace said, "Okay, I've gotten what I heard you. I see you, and now I want to talk about your mom. I'm so sorry about this." She went down that road, and I was very proud of that moment. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But a lot of people didn't think that she could do that. A lot of people thought she knew something, and when she heard about it and she really received it, that was it. Look, the thing is, we've all said this. She know Ashley has had issues with her father. Now we've seen on Housewives of Atlanta when Marlo went in on Kenya the same way about rejection. If Candace was a certain kind of person, she would have done that many moons ago with Ashley, because Ashley tried her in every way she could, and she's not done that. So when she hears somebody's wounded with their parents, she don't mess with that. She don't play with that. She's not a monster. She's a person who can be triggered. She's a person who can react, and she's a human being, and she's a beautiful woman. But she also has her moments. This episode for me, Candace won for me because she loved on her husband. She was feeling good in that morning. She said, "I can see me as a human being," and she received an apology. Now, in contrast, we see the two ladies, Robin and Gizelle, they were sitting there sour the whole episode, and they couldn't even engage. So here they are trying to tell her what to do and tell her something, but yet she's sitting there as a grown woman, younger than them, saying, "You know what? This is what I feel." And then, so I said to you, Tisa, you were right weeks ago when you were sort of on the panel, and you was like, "Oh, what for her? This is very important to her, like something very sacred to her." And she said in the episode, she said, I was nervous. I didn't know about nervous. I didn't see her being nervous, but she said it. I said, okay, I get that. So that was a shocker for me. She said, I was nervous. And I don't see Candace as a nervous girl. I see her as more very, very powerful, but I think she was, like you said. And so it was good for me. Very good. I loved it.
Now, to your point, Mel, because you made this point earlier, to say Chris put that get right on Candace, and she came to the boat with a whole new attitude. She was like,
now.
yes,
Come on.
Cool.
Hey.
Respectfully.
That's right. You know what? You know what's so funny? I was
he had her not even sleeping in the bed. She was sleeping on the little ottoman.
That's right. They had a good time. I think that house was a love shack because all of them was feeling a little groovy. Everybody was feeling pretty great. Right. But I was going to say, this is controversial, but my mother, God bless her, she used to love old movies, and it's a controversial movie because it's going to win. But when Scarlett wakes up in the morning after she had a time with Red Butler, it's a meme all around all the internet. She is smiling at the sunshine, honey. I think that's what Candace feeling too. She was smiling. She was having a good time. She had another care in the world. So she excuse me. Oh, forgive me. She could have apologized to Ashley at that moment. She was feeling so good. I think that. No,
sorry. I didn't mean.
No, that's it.
No, but and you know what? Also, say what you want about Candace. It takes a lot of emotional maturity to once somebody apologizes for what they did to you, for you to give it back. It seems like it should be the easiest thing in the world. But a lot of times when you apologize to people, which is why people never where you see so many grown adults that don't want to apologize. Because when you do apologize to someone, they don't say, okay, I receive it, and here's how I was accountable. They say, that's right, you were wrong, and let me tell you why you were wrong. They literally beat you over your own head with your apology. So that
on Housewives, well, Ashley do it every time, don't she? Yeah. Every time she get a chance, somebody come to her and even with Chris that episode, she said, "Hey, you look good, you look great," and she came in again. So it happens all the time. But Candace didn't do that.
In real life, people don't want to apologize because somebody will hold it over you, like you're admitting all your personal faults, and you're like, okay, but just because I was wrong doesn't mean you're right, and you get into that. So I admire the fact that Candace could even articulate and use her words, especially considering all those girls have been dragging her and looking down on her, and even how people were clowning her that she cries too much and this and that, right? Now, whether she cries too much is your own personal preference. Someone crying does not trigger me. It doesn't, right? And oftentimes when people cry, you don't have to be like, oh, and baby them. They just need a moment to themselves. Like, are you all right? Okay, cool. So all these people have been dragging her for crying and this and that. So it was a lot of strength to actually be emotional vulnerable in that situation. I don't know if I would have taken that situation to be emotionally vulnerable to Mia. I might have done it one-on-one, but I don't know, when I had that audience and I knew that half of them were rooting against me, I don't know if I would have had the strength to do that. So I give it to Candace,
Right.
I give it to her, right?
I think that's what makes it even more points for her because she was able to do that in front of the woman. So I do agree with you when you're saying, those people were rooting against her. So this is an opportunity to show everyone, hey, I am capable of growth. I have grown a lot. As if she doesn't even have anything to prove to anybody, or at least any of those girls. And it's interesting because obviously we see they're at odds now. So I wonder, where was the disconnect? Does that happen later in the season? Was that strictly on social media between Mia and Candace?
I
I
think
think it was strictly.
Go on.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on, girl.
I was thinking that it was strictly social media because
Yeah,
they
me
all
too.
kind of like just dropped it as soon as this episode hit. They didn't do anything more because, again, they could just keep it going and feuding. They could even say that they had issues at the reunion or whatever they want to say to keep it going. But it was just weird. They just dropped it like after like these 2 weeks of like feuding. So I think it was just a little bit of a put on. I do want to say that I'm happy Candace did it in front of the whole group, just because Mia's a liar. And I wouldn't want to talk to her by myself. I need
This
witnesses.
is true.
That's a
I
good
need
point.
witnesses because, because then all this time, especially since they all like don't like me and think I'm terrible. Mia she could have came up there and said, "I wish Mia's mom, to be eliminated."
That's right. Okay.
And she
Okay.
also lied a few minutes later after that with the whole Robin.
That's right.
Wendy.
Yeah.
Wait. When she lied about what?
Well,
When
before,
she
so that was
like
before the
lied.
apology. That was before the apology. She
So
went down to get
basically,
food.
right before,
Oh,
right
that was-
before. Oh,
Yeah.
we're all talking.
No,
No,
you
go
go.
for
You're
it.
right. You had it good.
So right before, Mia was downstairs. Robin and Estella were having their one-on-one. Mia was in the background getting something, and she heard it from earshot. She goes upstairs, tells Wendy,
Messy.
"Oh, I heard that you've changed in the last year."
Okay.
And that's not what was said. It was just saying that Robin liked her better last year. It was something more of that effect, and she switched it to that. And then Wendy was like, "Oh, you want to worry about fixing stuff? Why don't you fix your own shit?"
Yeah.
Right.
And that's how they apologized.
That's how they apologized.
Yeah.
That's how they. Okay, that's a good point. Right now, listen. The best revenge. This is so true. Queen Dar said the best revenge is success. I hope. Yeah. Candace has already proven the haters wrong. What was she, number 4 on the R&B iTunes?
Mhm.
She's done what no housewife has been able to do. And take housewives out of it. She's done what but a lot of independently funded artists have trouble doing.
That's
and
right.
even artists with labels behind them, to actually make a splash that big, Candace is definitely doing it, right? Let's hope, definitely, like you said, Queen Dar, for her continued success. But even like Housewives, you would think, oh, well, they have a big platform. Don't you remember Melissa Gorga and everything else? It's a platform for people to get clown you because nobody takes you seriously when you jump into other endeavors. I think NeNe made the jump. Candace is making the jump into acting and singing. No one's done it into singing. Who else has made the jump into the daughters have into modeling, but they were never on the show. But I don't think there's anybody that really made the jump outside of
Bethany.
Well, Bethany, she did it in business, which is a little bit different than
entertainment, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's done business.
Yeah.
Technically.
Right.
We've all done business.
No. Somebody brought up a good point. I forget who said it, but they said Mia decided to drive back to the hating Candace. Y'all said, did you think of social media? I think that this is the part of Mia's nature that really annoys me. Mia is a chameleon, and I understand she had to do that to get through life. But Mia becomes whoever she needs to be in that moment to get the most she can out of the situation. And I'm not hating on that, right? Because it's a good survival skill to have. However, we don't gotta like it. Do you see what I'm saying? I think Mia's like, I need to get buzz going. I'll start another feud with Candace. And maybe some of this is producer driven because it's weird the way the energy from last season is coming in this season. It's amazing how toxic the fan base of Potomac is. Not y'all, not anybody watching playback.
I know. Do you know what, Tisa? And that's what I was telling you just now. I was like, tonight's been fabulous. I mean, the chat. I
Yeah.
mean, just
We
as
got
an
me
age.
moderating.
Yeah, it's been
Stage
really,
or if you're doing the trigger.
this episode too has been really, the episode tonight has been
Good.
really light too, been funny.
Yeah.
So it's been enjoyable. It's really been enjoyable. The whole process tonight's been really good. But yeah, it's been a toxic online community this season, and it's been really, unfortunate. But what we say about the producer, I think that unless, and I'm not making any diagnosis, unless Mia has a bipolar moment, it
Yeah.
always gets very jarring to see her be so sad and so triggered by something so personal and then go be messy because she
Yeah.
it could have went left when she came up there doing that to Robin. She could have she said she was having woman issues. She could have totally went off on her. So it was just really like, okay, Mia, what are you doing? Like, why did you get from one frying pan to now go mess with this? And then she keep doing that, Gizelle would turn against her in a heartbeat because nobody can mess with Robin. So I don't know. I just think that was crazy that she went down, heard half a conversation Judge just said, and went up there and messed it up again. They did do a flashback, which was funny. And said when when they said that Giselle called her, the B word. That was a little. She said, "You did." She said, "You did." I said, "Oh Lord."
The way she said, "You did."
You
I
did.
was like,
And I was like, no, she didn't.
She did
She
not.
did
That's
it.
how I interpreted it. Like, what?
But
That's not how
also
reality works.
I'm not liking how like she keeps trying to put like these whispers into Wendy's ear, and Wendy keeps believing her like it's true because it was
Yeah, oh yeah,
Wendy.
that's why did she
Remember
keep
at the
telling
table
Wendy?
it was Wendy. She was
Yeah.
saying that was that, and then when she comes up on the boat, she's telling Wendy this.
Why
And
does she keep doing that to Wendy? I don't know.
There's something about the Wendy and Mia we don't know about that just isn't ticking and talking.
Yeah, there's something
true.
there, and I don't know what it is. But even from the first time they met, at whose house was it? The first time they met,
That Wendy, Wendy was the
yeah,
Wendy house.
It was
at Karen's.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
the
Karen's.
first
It
time
was
they
the
it
met.
love
was
lunch.
Wendy's, the nude party.
Yeah, it was some weird energy there too. So it's like, it is what it is. But hopefully we see it in a thing because but then again, maybe she sees Wendy as disposable. Do you know what I'm saying? Or I mean, she's not stupid. She did get her champagne glass, right? She had a plan to become a housewife and it worked. She gave the producers what she wanted. Even more, right? Um, let's see. Tisa in the first episode. Oh yeah, when she told Eddie the first episode she was on, when she told what's his name? G, that Eddie couldn't take her eyes off him. Meanwhile, Eddie is looking at his Poland Spring bottle like, huh? Somebody say something to me. So it's like, I was like,
Yeah, he just clueless to what's going on.
That's right.
And then Wendy running after her husband. It was very awkward couple of episodes between the two.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. I don't think that Eddie's clueless, but I think Eddie is a very respectful to Wendy. Like, I would want my husband to be respectful of me. Nobody said when you walk down the street, you got to keep your eyes down, but God damn it. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to maybe G when he has one or two drinks, he's eyeing up girls and him and Mia are debating on who she should bring home. So I don't know. And the way Mia is, I just can't see Mia really being into sharing the spotlight with another woman. So that just makes me think like, I don't know, are you doing this just because it's what you gotta do?
Mia said it though in the interlude party that she was like drinking champagne while he was doing a girl on the bed. And this is like the first time they've ever. No, I'm like legit, not joking. Play it back, guys. I have all the episodes on DVR.
Like talking about a scene from Indecent Proposal. Girl, shut up. I don't know that happened.
Oh my gosh.
Not you, Judgy Justice. I'm saying Mia. Shut up.
No, that's
girl.
what I'm agreeing with. I was like,
yeah.
I was taken back because I was just like, she's trying. Yeah, because I've never heard of such.
Well, I mean, we heard from
like
Ashley.
Some bottom people problems.
Well, wait, hold on, ACE. What you say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say we did kind of hear that from Ashley last season. We don't know what exactly was going on in the bedroom, and God forbid, nobody wants to really know that.
No.
But we knew that there were other people involved. But I was gonna say that Mia just like I feel like when Bad Girls Club was in its prime, that's what Mia is. Like I look at her as somebody who could have been on the Bad Girls Club. So I'm just like I'm watching her. I'm like, all right, I guess you're good for the show, but I don't know, whatever. I guess we'll see what happens next season.
I don't think Mia would have made it on the Bad Girls Club. You would have got
What
dragged.
we should have asked though? We should have asked we should have asked when did that happen between Mia and G and the champagne, right? Because to your point, ACE, Ashley said that happened with Michael, but I think that's when she was trying to lock his ass down and being like, "What you want? You want other women? We can have it all together." So it's kind of like, Mia, when did you do that? Did this happen last year or did this happen? How long they've been married? 7 years ago? Because maybe Mia was just running some game on him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it could have been that too. So you guys, let's wrap this up. This was a great episode.
Awesome.
Y'all, we are reviewing Salt Lake City tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm also going to do tarot, not during the review. I'll probably do it before. But if you guys have been looking for my live tarot readings, back on Monday. Check your local channel time. But I'll be back on Monday for tarot. But we are going to do a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City review because y'all, I know y'all saying whatever, the episodes or whatever, it just started getting good. So we now have something to talk about. We're going to do a double recap because I didn't do last week. So we're going to do last week and this week all in one show. Don't worry, it's not going to be that long a show, but it'll be long enough to be entertaining and just follow that. All right. So I want everybody to go around. Let me know what you thought of the episodes, the high, the low, and also, rate the episode and let me know your comments on it. Anything you want to say, take away. You guys are housewives connoisseurs, so please share your expertise with us. Okay.
Okay, so I'll just go and say it was I repeat, it was a very light episode, very fun episode. Karen was funny. I thought that Karen and Ray were adorable when she was explaining what happened, the drama, his expressions, his reactions was hysterical. It was great, and I just like the fact that Wendy was the MVP. Wendy and Candace are riding ties for me as MVP because Wendy didn't get triggered by the games that Robin and Gizelle tried to pull, and Candace showed. She basically put all the haters in their place basically and showed that she didn't know. She does have a heart and she's mature and she will say a lot of things and she might say a lot more things about Mia, but she won't talk about her mother. And I like that we saw that tonight. So tonight I'm going to give it maybe 8.5.
Okay. Who's
wanna
next?
go, Doug?
ACE, step up to the plate.
All right, let's do this. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5. It was cute. It was a cute episode. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm kind of tired of like the way they do this cliffhanger thing. So I would have just liked to see Ashley and G just go at it and just get that out the way. But yeah, overall like 7.5. But just a sidebar, do you think you would do like a mini tarot reading on Candace or Andy?
Yes. Do you guys want to see that? Yeah. I'll do it. I'll do a mini tarot reading and I'll post it. Do you mean right now?
I don't. Up to no. Maybe
okay, because I don't have my cards.
Yeah,
right
yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I work from home,
my
so
cards are always by me, but we're not going to do it. I don't know. I mean, I don't. No, you know what? I think I am going to do it on the thing. That would be a good idea. Maybe I'll even do a live tarot reading on Candace, on Andy, on Watch What Happened Live, and on a few other things. Or at the very least, I'll do it and then I'll post it. That's a good idea, ACE.
Well, that was a great idea because when I first got into the episode, I'll get back off. I said to Tisa, she said exactly what Candace was going to say. That's why I was watching the episode and I thought about her. She said, she was talking about what she was talking to with whoever was on the panel. And she said, well, what if she feels about her project is this, and everything she said a couple of weeks ago, unless she was still on the boat filming with the lady, the girl said exactly what Tisa said. And when she was defending Candace, she said exactly. So I was like, oh my gosh. And then she cried and everything. So yeah, you need to do the reading like ACE was saying about Andy and also. Yeah, you were on point. And then, yeah. So Candace said exactly what you said before the episode.
That's a good idea. I'm actually looking for my pen to write it down on my little handy dandy. You know what am I doing? Let me put it in my notes on the phone.
Yeah, I could DM you as well. And then also just another side thought. I'm looking forward to seeing this Mia versus Ashley thing. I have a feeling this is going to be very entertaining because to me, they kind of have a lot of similarities, like with their husbands, their position as like the light-skinned woman on the show that are always going, towards like the dark-skinned one. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see them against each other. And especially since like Ashley is like smarter. So I'm interested in seeing how this is going to go.
That's a good one. That is a good one to actually see how it go. But that's the thing. Ashley might be smarter, but Mia has the thing Ashley has where Ashley can start mess and then she can just slide on out, right? Mia
Right.
has that power times a million. Mia can bold face lie to us in one scene, and the next scene we'll be giggling and kikiing with her to the point of we're like, that's just Mia, like whatever. So that power that Ashley possesses, Mia has it by 1,000. So they would be evenly matched, right? They would be, and also Mia would not be afraid to go low when it comes to Michael
As
at
we can see.
all, at all, at all, at all. So, okay. And last but not least, we got Judgy Justice. Judgy Justice, why don't you give a shout out to your YouTube channel too?
Okay, yeah. You can find me at Judgy Justice, JUDGY Justice. All right, I'm right here on TikTok and YouTube. I do some recaps and some light drama. I try to keep it under 5 minutes because I don't like to run on forever and ever and ever. And then I also do AITAs from Reddit. So those are one of my favorite stories. So I like reading those out loud and laughing and talking about it like I have people around me listening. So one thing I would say is that right now I would rate this episode a solid 7.
Okay.
I think I rate it so high just because it kept moving on. I didn't feel stuck in one place, you know. I felt like the story progressed in a nice way. Just when I was like getting tired of the boat, they were finally getting off the boat. It was a nice progression into everything, the next thing. Like when I do want to say that I was really like done with Gizelle and Rhop in this episode more than usual. Just because what's the word? It was just a little too, it was like too much karma was right. You know, karma came right back around on them for the way they treated them on the Williamsburg trip. Then about the bathroom stuff, being in this driveway with mosquitoes. They didn't even have tiki torches for these people. Usually what you do is you have a party outside, you put some tiki torches out. They didn't have no tiki torches. These poor people getting bit up, itching at home.
That is the DMV, right? Those mosquitoes will eat you
They're
for
not, it's
breakfast,
not a
lunch, and
joke. It's
dinner.
not even, and you don't even see them. You don't
No,
even see them. And like,
no.
and then like they're little, and then like next you know your wrist is swollen, and people looking at you like you've caught something deadly. And it's
Yes.
just like
Be like
no,
ropes.
no, I'm not a no, I don't need money. I don't need your
Exactly.
I'm not on that stuff. I just got bit because I went to somebody's backyard without
Mhm.
off. So
That's
yeah,
exactly how it is.
you know, they shaded them out the bathroom. They treated her, she kept trying to edge on Wendy about this Eddie rumor. And then still Eddie's in their face right now being a loving and faithful husband right in front of them. And they still are so upset. And then the fact that Ramen keeps throwing in poor Juan, like, leave Juan alone. This is his weekend with his side chick. Why are you over here bragging him and like he's gonna come,
Yes.
like he was gonna come.
You
Like
said
he was
this
gonna come.
weekend with his
He would
side
have
chick. Let
told
that man be
everybody.
in peace.
That was another. You brought up another good point. That was another good point about the bathroom. So she said, "Well, I don't want to go to the bathroom where the guys are pissing on the floor." And then Karen had another funny thing. But did Ray say? They said, "Well, it wasn't me." I said, "Honey," I said, "Ray, he just got there, so of course it wasn't him messing up the floor." But then Karen said, and the confessor said, "You know, Robin, you know damn well that was you, honey." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say. So, what did you rate this episode?
Yeah.
Oh, I rated a 7.
A
It was
7.
it was a good 7. It was a good
Cool.
it was a good filler. I know it's a filler. It helped move the storyline, close up some loose ends, and also give us something to look forward to for next week. So it was a good solid 7.
You know what's so funny about what you say about the filler? I feel like on Potomac, the fighting episodes are fillers because it starts with the fight and then it's 40 minutes of like
Boring.
Ray cutting grass, Karen being like, Ray, help me put my shoe on.
Robin clipping her 15-year-old's toenails.
Exactly. And then the last 10 minutes is action again. So I actually like this episode. And to your point, I didn't think it was filler. I just thought it was just fun. I like the fact that they didn't have too many boring scenes. right?
Yeah.
I mean, even the scenes where they were just like, babe, like when Karen was talking to Ray on the phone, everybody was, doing the phone calls thing. I like the fact and calling their kids that they just moved past that because that's all it deserved. But like a few minutes, say hi to mommy. Okay. Now let's get back to the good stuff. I think this was just really good because, and I'm going to actually wait and see. Maybe I'll get back on Twitter, but I'm going to actually see in the Twitterverse, like how people are reacting to this grown, mature Candace that everybody swore they wanted. Because in life, let's not forget, this isn't just Candace, this is with everybody. And I'll be firm about this. Everybody makes dumb moves. Everybody says stuff that they regret. Everybody pops off, well, maybe they should have been calm. Everybody at one point puts themselves in a bad position where they make themselves look bad. It happens. It's life. Now, do they do it every day? Of course not. But you got to remember when you're filming reality TV, even to Mia's credit, right?
Yeah.
A camera is around you 24 hours a day. So every time you mess up, the camera's going to be catching it. But in life, it's not the situations you get yourself into, because you will get yourself into situations. If you say you don't, you're either 16 years old or you're a liar, right? You will get yourself in situations. The mark of maturity is how quick you exit those situations. How quick, if you speak out of turn, you offer an apology. How quick, if you move in ego based, you humble your ego and come correct. That's the mark of maturity. That's the mark of life. And that's the mark of like a life well lived, where you have inner peace, where you know, like, it's not me, like, because a lot of us, I feel like we harbor, I mean, let me not get too deep. A lot of us, it's harbored shame because we feel like we didn't honor ourselves, or we didn't portray ourselves in the correct manner. And we showed a side of ourselves that we don't think are the true self. But when you literally just find a way to apologize, but you're not just apologizing to the person, you're apologizing to yourself. I apologize for not honoring you. Next time will be different. And you just forgive yourself and you move on. But anyway, I like to actually see that on reality TV. And I don't know where things went left, but in this moment, Mia and Candace are one. They're at peace. And I love to see that. They're at one. I love to see it. I was like, all the fates are aligning. So I love to see that right now they are at one. They are at peace. And it just shows you Candace and Mia both have very powerful personalities, because you see how once they're at one, it lightened up and everything was able to flow until Mia, got that shit started again. But that's what we pay her for. So,
Yeah, because honestly, when I think about it, I'm like, what would we be talking about if it wasn't for Mia and Candace? For
True.
what's been going on with them two. Not even just like them two together, but separately, because they've been kind of like in these little pockets with people, keeping things
Exactly.
like going, the storyline going. So like people keep saying like, oh, we need her off the air, this off the air. They go off the air, the show's going off the air, because I don't want to watch another scene of Karen and Ray getting a little freaky and him taking 30 minutes to get up the steps.
Yes. And Karen in the bathtub, and then
she's just like, I'm waiting. I'm like, that water cold.
Ashley trying to figure out what Michael is.
Before we go, right? I found it very interesting that, when Chris was going to show everybody what was making Candace smile, right? Candace jumped up, and the way she was like, don't do that, right? Chris is a wild boy, right? And Candace was like, stop it. And that's the thing. Chris must be packing, because he was not scared or ashamed. He was like, y'all want to see this work?
Uh-oh.
He was acting like someone that had nothing to be embarrassed about, and quite a lot to be proud of. He was like, here it is, right?
I mean, I was going to say, what's his heritage? Is he German or something? What's going on?
Wow. He was like, I don't got nothing to be afraid of. Y'all going to see why Candace, it keeps driving back to this. But
Wow.
I found it odd and a little bit, of course, hypocritical, but Karen is our hypocritical queen. The way Candace was like, oh, really? Like acting like, so that Karen, you literally gave a tutorial of humping pillows and told us what you do. Like, Karen, stop. Remember when Karen was trying to convince everybody that her and Ray were getting it popping every Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday? you know, and once before church, it's like, Karen, stop. But that's what makes Karen. You know, she's like, oh,
Yeah.
Remember her
You know?
tongue trick thing that she was showing us last season too? Or
Oh,
was
I forgot about it. I did a nightmare. So no.
and it
No,
was
why do I got it? Now we got to go to sleep with these images.
No.
it was all good. It was all love. Karen, you better do you. But it just cracked me up the way Ashley, I'm just glad that Michael would never do that. Meanwhile, Michael is the biggest drunken, disgusting. Michael is like
Makes
a
sense.
frat boy that never grew up. Y'all ever run into a
Michael,
frat boy at a bar and the way they're just on something,
yeah,
like,
Mike,
and you're just like,
yeah, I think that Michael is just a step away from Harvey Feinstein, to be quite frank. And he ain't too far from that man. So I mean, he's a predator.
well,
That's it.
he's
No
trying to
joke.
he's trying to get into production. So get ready.
Right? I mean, scary. Oh my God.
Potomac's going to have their own Me Too movement, you know. So
You
we'll
know
see.
that's right.
And then one thing that was weird was like I'm like a little, I know I've like been piecing those puzzle pieces together and having my sticky note wall, but I just can't believe like Bravo just turned it all around for him this season.
I
And
know.
it's like painting their family like this like gracious family, nothing more about the cheating pops, like not too many of the cheating pop-ups anymore.
Mhm.
You know, like how they used to always like pop up and go back to like those headlines and the different headlines and other things, or like the videos and images. And it was just like they're only going like based off of now their own footage.
Yeah.
of
Well,
what
I
they've
wouldn't.
seen.
I wouldn't say where's Ronan Farrow when we need him. We need him to go down to Potomac and do some investigation.
Well, they live right here in Arlington, I believe. No, Alexandria. They live over here in Alexandria.
Hmm.
So that's only a 50-minute ride for me. I could go.
Oh,
But
you
I'm
wouldn't?
like, but I wouldn't be very inconspicuous. They'd be like,
No, you
this
would not.
pregnant
No,
lady's
you
been
know what,
following us.
Miss
for-
Jessica, you are with child. You're gonna be relaxing. You're gonna have a wonderful holiday. You're gonna not be out on those streets
I can't
hunting
even
this
hide
predator.
behind a tree.
No.
But if you are, keep your phone like this.
Makes sense.
Oh, I'm
Last night
even
is
better than that. I have a wallet that holds my phone like this, like right across from your chest, so they don't even know it's running. I don't have to use my hands. And I can
Exactly. Just be like, oh wow. Michael, who is this? Ashley's sister? Oh hi. We catch Michael on his date because Michael seems like he's a cheap. Yeah, Michael is the epitome of a cheap rich man. If you've ever met one, you know that Michael is a cheap rich man, which means that they're stingy with their money, they're stingy with their feelings, they're stingy with everything. And he reminds me of the type that if he was to step out on Ashley, he's so cheap, he'll probably take her to one of his restaurants or something or other, just so he didn't have to pay the bill and wouldn't care because what's Ashley going to say? But I digress. Shout out to Brooke Ashley. I digress. Okay. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining. Couple of things. Membership, $4.99. Join. You're gonna love it. There's already 2 gossip videos out that has real tea, not recycled tea. I'm doing tarot tomorrow. Yay! And I'm also going to do live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, you guys are all welcome back. Kaya, you too, in the comments. You guys are all welcome back. Mel, thank you again so much for joining. You always make the best, and you bought ACE and Judgy Justice. This was an amazing panel. Great energy.
Awesome.
Yes, and shout out to B, the best moderator in the world. She keep her finger on that trigger, like make a move.
That's right. Yes, we do.
I love it. She makes sure that we only have, what is it? GVO, good vibes only.
Good vibes
in this
only.
chat.
That's right,
Good
honey.
vibes only.
I
B,
love it.
thank you. I'm eternally grateful. And you guys, tomorrow I'm going to do a bunch of videos. Check my channel, but I'm also going to do a live. Hopefully the panel joins me again. If not, y'all just gonna get me solo. But I'm gonna be here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to do Salt Lake City. I promise it's gonna be worth your time. It's pretty funny. And of course, Wednesday at 9:30, we're doing Potomac. Well, not Potomac. We're doing Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Because Andy's probably going to drag Erica. Plus, I want to see Gizelle clap back at Dorit and Lisa Rinna. All right, y'all. So here we go. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining. B, thank you, Mel, ACE, Judgy Justice, and Kaya. Hopefully, I see you guys all tomorrow. All right, you guys. I'll see y'all. And join
All right. Good night, everybody. Night.
memberships. All right, night, everybody. Bye.
Good night. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Oh, and also follow Mel NYC Reviews, ACE, and Judgy Justice on Instagram. Judgy Justice has her YouTube channel, and also Mel NYC Reviews. Go on and subscribe to his YouTube. It's going to be up and running soon, but you might as well get a drop on that. All right. See you guys.